It's another beautiful day to be back here with you on the Issues Room podcast here this evening. Wherever you are, we would like to say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the time of day is in your neighborhood. We'd like to welcome you. Today is our 150th broadcast. We've come away and we'll be celebrating 2 years of existence in September on the 14th, which is our anniversary day. But listen, this is a lot of work work, to put in time, to put in research, to, do this stuff. They say men can talk, oh, right? We can't tell you all the things we do behind the scenes just to come here every Tuesdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. in Liberia, and sometimes midnight there, depending on the daylight saving time when we have the time zone changed. But I'd like to say thank you so much for connecting with us. If you're there tonight, just spread the link, spread the word. Thomas Wilson, you seem to be here for the first time, following from Canada. It's going to be a good conversation. Virgin Monyu, thank you for joining us. Let me be joined now by my brother, Alfonso Yeno. Alfonso, good evening. Welcome. We're back here, 150th edition. This evening, we'll
Yep.
be looking at
Yep.
the technological age and the technological advancement that Liberia should be a part of, particularly the internet age. We'll be talking with a friend and brother, a family man, one who I've known all my life. We've grew up together. He's a big brother, but not that far of a big brother, and we done this stuff years ago, and we'll be, coming back here to talk about it in person of Mr. Charles W. Howard, an IT, engineer. So I think it will be a great conversation. A little bit of politics going to come in because as a result of, a guy like this not being on the grounds to lend to his country, some kind of politicking, has to be in it. But welcome.
Thank you, Volcano. Thank you very much. Again, as you said, you guys have come a long way. 150th edition of the show. And I want to credit you and Moses. I'm a newcomer to the show, but you guys have definitely put in a lot of time and resources. And the fact that, 2 years in the run is still going is really commendable. And as you said, yes, we look forward to another robust and very interesting and hopefully beneficial conversation with my friend and brother Charlie as well.
Yeah, thank you. Ram Snowden, welcome. My name is Sumo. Good to see you watching from Delaware. This evening we'll be looking at what type of country is this, and we'll also have the memory lane. Dr. Um, Manisuma has already written something befitting the conversation here tonight. Most of them might join us momentarily, but in the meantime, it's Alfonso and I. And Alfonso, this evening I was driving and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what is it going to be like for our country after this period of these elections? Because we always hope for that the elections will bring something new,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
nothing new,
No.
nothing new. And that's what I was thinking. And everybody now getting mad at each other, cutting off
Yeah.
speech. Go ahead.
You're, you're, you're right, brother. You're right. Um, yes. And a lot of times, part of the reason we don't make a lot of progress is a lot of times we look to the leaders to be the ones to bring the change and to manage the change. Leaders have a role to play, but we as citizens, as private citizens, as people, as collectives, also have a role to play. And I would say we have a bigger role to play even than the leaders because A, we make them, and B, we can hold them accountable, but also we can bring our expertise to bear. And that's why I think having Brother Howard, a technology expert here to talk about his background, but also how technology can help to improve and transform our society and advance us is really important. So as you said, we talk politics because politics is part of everything, but just the fact that you're able to book and have him, give us that other angle of what our country needs and what development actually is, I think is remarkable.
Yeah, and you listen to podcasts all over the place.
Mhm.
Everybody's whining and talking about this selection by Joe Barker regarding Jeremiah Kwon. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, again, no matter who wins, it doesn't miraculously change Liberia. It
Yep.
doesn't change GSA Road for me. It's not going to change Dupo Road overnight and make it a golden street. It's not going to change Morovia. So we're not going to become the new Oasis, the so-called Miami.
Miami, the
That
new Miami.
it's not going to change it. It's not going to change it because the first thing they're all going to do
Yeah.
is to get pretty, to sit pretty. They're going to dip their hand in the last batch of what would be left there first to be able to get situated. Then before they start gliding and barely doing anything, and 6 years going to come and go, and the Liberian people are going to stay in the quagmire to find themselves. And that's my analysis of this whole thing. People always think that a new dispensation, a new leadership, the politics will change our destiny. It doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
In time immemorial, for as long as I've been on earth, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that happen. I haven't seen that. So nothing gonna be a miracle.
That's not how change happens. So change doesn't happen because you change a group of leaders or whatever the case may be. In a democratic society, which I hope and believe we have, is the people, and that power rests in the people, and that is the reason why the people are the ones who choose their leaders, because you, of course, you want to choose people who you think, who you believe in what they're saying, you believe in their values, and you believe in them because of their track record and everything what they've done in the past. That tells you what they would do going forward. uh, but more importantly, once they get there, holding them accountable to those things and making sure that they do them. And very quickly, take for instance, we've been talking about it, and I don't want to say the ambassador brought it up, but again, we all Liberians have been seeing it and talking about it, right? There was a time when we discussed the situation of this lady who went to hospital in Lofa, and the doctor said, "Go buy the medicine from the pharmacy in the hospital, or else we won't treat you." I learned later on that the doctors and the administrators implemented that policy because that's the only way they can keep the hospital doors open, because they're not getting money from central, government.
Yeah.
So again, it has to come from the ground. It has to come from the people demanding what they deserve. It has to come from us pushing the senators from Lofa and from Nimba and from Grand Jetta. What are you doing that your hospital is not receiving money? And you're coming to us here and acting this stuff. So yes, as you correctly said, the leader who gets elected tomorrow, October, whenever, October 11, October, is not going to change the country. We have to make them change the country. We as a people.
Wow, that's profound. And honestly, we need to hold them accountable because
Yeah.
it's sad. You come to think about it, all this bickering and all the castigation, and people are
Yeah.
now mudslinging and talking things about each other. They who were just the other day here, and now because some people felt entitled to, some people were lobbying, some people spent some kind of money, some people, like Moses says, "Oh, I was driving you around. I bought this for you. I did this for you. I
I
did
buy
that."
a ticket.
You
Yeah.
know. So at the end of the day, now you throw me on the side. See Moses backstage. Moses, welcome. Let's keep the conversation going. You got to get on in.
It seems that I need to adjust my camera
Yeah,
a little bit.
good. You know. And so you think about it. All these people just the other day they were all shite butthole, like the Liberian people say. Excuse the expression. But where are we now? And if they go divided, then where does the country go?
Yeah.
And even if they go in unity, where does the country go? It's
Yes.
not a miracle. It has to come from within. Like you said, everyone has a stake in the matter.
Yeah.
And we can't always sit here and think that changing government, changing politicians, changing leaders will make a difference. It does, but to a greater extent, the people must buy in, the people must rally, the people must hold those people accountable. That's where it starts, Moses.
Yeah.
Well, look, I would just like to jump in, like that. But like you guys were saying, what have learned over the years is that change comes from within. It's a decision that you make, that you look at the pros and the cons of your situation and you say, I think I need to make some alteration. And when you make the alteration, then you try to achieve those objectives that will make you make the transition that you really want. No matter how you want things to happen, you can spank people, you can do everything, unless the people see the benefits of the change, they won't change for the better. You know,
Yep.
I heard you guys talking about the lawmakers, not holding the executive accountable. Unfortunately, the Liberia that we have, and this is an age old problem, we have a very powerful executive. And then when you have a powerful executive, such as the one that we have today, that is so insensitive, everybody suffers. Let me give you this simple example, right? As I speak to you right now, President Weir, at the head of a government delegation, is en route to England to participate in the coronation of King Charles, right? Now, you told me this. It's like I'm Moses saying, I'm going around coming to you guys. I said, look, guys, my annual income is 6 digit. Maybe I'm making more than $100,000 a year. But you come to my house, the kids have no food to eat. And then you wonder, but what's going on with this Moses guy? That's the problem we have in Liberia. You have a president who claims to manage the highest budget in the country. He flies to London for coronation when people have not been paid for months.
But imagine the configuration of his delegation.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
Volcano.
He's gonna travel with Colasco. What country?
I mean, now you tell me Volcano. If you Volcano Shelton, I say Volcano Shelton is 6 figure. I come to your house, my man, I want drink water. And then he said, damn, man, shut up.
What a finny.
Yeah, now looking at you, I said, man, they ain't ready, man. You made 6 figure. Can you get water to drink, my man?
All right,
What
Moses.
happened? No.
Our guest is
Yeah.
backstage. We
Hmm?
would like to start this conversation tonight.
Yeah, let's go into our discussion. I just wanted to put that out there.
Here we say welcome to Forge Among You, Cole, Gloria, Voga, Moba. It's good to see you, Ram Snutton. Listen, continue to share the link, invite others. Tonight will be a lot of good conversation, but probably we'll have to touch on politics. There's no way we wouldn't touch it because, again, as I said, politics influence almost everything in Liberia today. But listen, let's bring in our guest, Mr. Charles W. Howard Jr.
Yeah.
Good evening, Charles. Welcome to the Issues Room. This is your first thing with us. But Charles, you're not new to me. We've talked about this. I remember back in 1995,
Mhm.
96, before the April 6th, when I was back at LBS.
LBS, yeah.
We started this series. Every Saturday, I would bring you in the studios and we'll talk about before the internet age. We were talking about it, and
Yeah.
here we are years later, and we're happy to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen, and I'm happy to be here and hope to share the best I can with the world and everybody else. Hey, Moses, good to see you.
It's a pleasure, Charles,
As my
meeting you
Alphonso, don't
too.
worry, I talk to him every day, so I'm good.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Charles, just tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how you got involved, and with being an IT engineer. Tell us the bulk of what you do and what is it now that you are so profoundly involved with, and then we'll kind of go around the room to start this conversation.
Well, my career kicked off in Ghana when I was a refugee there. I was privileged to be blessed by God some guys saw me as a friend and offered me the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. And I chose to go into computer. I went to computer school in Ghana. I graduated, and then I was hired to set up a computer college called CAPS Computer College in Community 2, Tema. I taught that college. Some Liberians attended, many Ghanaians attended that. When I left teaching that college, I was hired by a group called what we call a communication center in Tema. Whilst I was there working as a desktop publisher, I created a business card. And fortunately for me, Mrs. May came in. It was a business card. And she saw the business card and was like, "Who did this card?" And the lady said, "Oh, it's our DTP guy." And she said, "Oh, you from Liberia?" She said, "Yes, I'm here. I work at Obuasi Goldfields." She said, "Let me see the person." And we talked. And she said, "Listen, I'm opening my IT company back home. I need guys like you back there." So that encouraged me, and we talked. And I returned to Liberia. She had open data technology at the time, and I worked there. At the time, it was only email services, but I was there working as a desktop publisher and one of the technicians. I stayed there, and then after some time, I left for a brief moment and went on to work in one of the political offices for some time. And one day I was walking down the road in Congo Town and this pickup stopped and somebody said, "We're looking for you." And what did I do? I was afraid, but they picked me up and took me to Telecom and I met SGM, Gaga, and the rest of the crew. They were like, "We've been looking for you for a month." I'm like, "For what?" "Well, we got this machine here and it's supposed to bring the internet to Liberia, but nobody can configure it. I'm like,
Wow.
"Really?" Yeah, it was a 486 machine. And I went to the telecom building there. Some guys were there. One of my mentor, Bizambo say, we had Alphonso Boga. They were all sitting there. And then I went in like 45 minutes. Internet was in Liberia. And this
Wow.
American guy called John Sayer, he brought a company, but there was no one to configure it. And so I was able to configure it. And that's how internet hit Liberia for the first time.
Hmm.
And some other guys came in, a guy Sandupan, some other guys that brought them in for us to work. We started to spread internet. It was a dial-up system at that time, and we configured all the internet in Liberia that during that era until I left until I left LipNet. The company was called LipNet. SGM Gaga, they were the ones that put together had that company. When I left there, I went out and then I established my own business called Aprotech. And we were one of the first IT companies in Liberia. I gathered some young guys as mentor. They work with me. Today, all of them are successful. One of them, Mr. Elton Kai, he worked for Microsoft at one of the highest level. I'm proud of him. The rest of them work with the UN system in all of the region in Africa. So they all learned and they were interested in learning. I didn't sit and teach them, but I gave them the privilege and they seized that opportunity. And today I'm very happy. They are my brothers. I didn't say they work for me. It was our company. So whilst we were there and then at Aprotech, then of course we're going to do services for the government, for the UN system and stuff like that. We were asked to computerize Liberia. The project started, but it stopped. We'll talk about that down the road. So after that process, then came Lone Star. Lone Star needed an IT administrator. I was the first IT administrator for Lone Star Cell in Liberia. We set up everything there, the switch and everything else, do a whole details about it. Was there, and then the U.S. Embassy picked me up, and then I went to the U.S. Embassy as an IT person in what we call systems and I worked there until I migrated to the United States. And this is where I am. When I came here, the first company picked me up was Dell Computer as one of the gold tech specialists, which was the highest standard specialist in IT at the time. I worked there for some time, and then when they were about to shut down the office in Tennessee, I got a job with a company called Care Fusion. If you go to any hospital in the States, you see the medical system where they put all the medication. It's called the Pyxis Med Station. All those stations are responsible to manage them between Philadelphia, half of New Jersey, half of Delaware for like 4 years as a senior tech. Then they had a problem with the account in DC. They moved me to DC to manage those accounts, and all the EI was responsible to host the presidents and senators when they have a problem. I was responsible to provide technical support for the rooms and keep them running. And people were like, "Oh, they didn't know that." So I did that for some time, and then I had a health situation, so I had to stop doing that kind of work. I had a heart attack, and God saved my life. So after that, I couldn't do that kind of work anymore, and then I resigned to do my own business. I went in, registered, and established my company called Data Charlie (MSP). MSP means Managed Service Providers. And so I provide all aspects of IT services from networking, cybersecurity, training, application development, website development, you name it, we can deliver those things. And so, but in the midst of all of that, we've been looking at Liberia, and Liberia is very dear to me. There's a lot of footprints of work in Liberia, but it's yet and still something is hindering Liberia. And like you guys are saying, it has something to politics.
Yeah.
Okay. And I hope we'll be able to cover those things. So I'm here. I have my business running. I have guys around in Kigali. I was in Kigali about a month ago. I was in Frankfurt at the Ramstein Air Force Base for the government doing some work. I have some guys in Freetown in Ghana and my other boys in Liberia right now trying to groom them to do some work as much as they can. So that's the short nutshell about me. I don't know it all, but I'm always entertaining others because we can learn from each other. I like to give people the privilege to bring what they know, and then we grow on that. So I don't profess to know it all. I know a lot of Liberian IT engineers around the world, and we talk all the time, and we just share our knowledge, you know. So that's where I come from.
Thank you.
Thank
Can
you.
Yeah. I want to say thank you, Charles. It seems from just listening to you, it appears that you have a profound understanding of what IT is all about, information technology is all about. I'm really impressed with your resume. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, like you're well rounded, my man. But look, help
Yeah.
us understand in today's world is driven by technology.
Mhm.
Where's Liberia? Yes. Yeah.
Liberia,
I brought down water side.
yeah, can I hear what I said? Liberia is in Soniwe,
Wow.
okay? Or we say
Yeah.
Bokenyiniman. And it is not by choice, okay? But it is by, I don't know if it's the right way to say by choice, but it is by attitude and the love for Liberia, okay? Before we left Liberia, Mr. Blamo Nelson, he knows about that. Mr. Taylor asked us to computerize the government, digitize the government. I still have the blueprint today. That program is called GOLAB, the Government of Liberia Automation Platform or Program. His intention was when he sat at his desk, he wanted to be able to pull down a report. If there was a project taking place in Lofa County, in Grand Jide, he wanted to be able to pull down a report and know how many people on that project, when it started, how much it cost, when it's going to end, what is the current status of the project, who to contact on one A4 sheet. He wanted to digitize Liberia. He contacted me and Blamon Nelson of us at the time at Aprotech, and we
Yeah.
started to design the platform. Elton Carr, he's at Microsoft now, he's my programmer, he will tell you that, you know. But then the political situation changed, but still I didn't give up. And since that time, since Mr. Taylor's situation, but we've still been trying to engage from government to government people to allow us come and get this thing set up. Because let me tell you something, Ghana was not digitized before Liberia the way Ghana is today. Neither Sierra Leone, neither Rwanda. Okay? But look at those countries today. Rwanda is the technology hub for East Central Africa right now. Ghana, you can go to any village in Ghana, make a phone call, send email, and browse the internet. Why Liberia cannot do it? And we now that we don't have the talent, we have the people to do it. But when you try to engage people to say we can do this, they look at you. First thing first is like, who are you? Okay, wait, I gotta find my cousin. Or sometimes they tell you, or come and tell us what you want to do. And you sit down and explain your idea to say, okay, we're going to have a meeting, we'll get back to you. 2 weeks later, they come back and say, oh, no money. But 1 month later, they go and call their friends from India, from Nigeria, from Kenya, or somewhere else to try to do what you explain to them. And of course, they didn't realize that you want to give them a surface. And instead of you bringing you in the picture to make it move, you don't do it. So the result, it fails. And of course, the money. Once they got the money, that's it. Tell you the truth. I've spoken to some people back in the days doing the intergovernment time. You know what they told me? How much it going to cost? I said, it's going to cost $50,000. He said, I need some of that money. I said, okay, how much do you need? I need at least 20,000 of it. I said, okay, I will do what? I will do the budget and I will add that 20,000 on it. Since you're going to approve the budget, when you give me the 50,000 to do the work that the people will see the results, you can have the 20,000. He said no. So how do you expect me to take 20,000 out of the $50,000
And
give
when
it
we
to
tell it
them
thousand,
and want me to do the work?
yeah.
Then if I don't do the work, then you go on the radio and TV and say this guy is corrupt. I'm like, okay, thank you, bye. So many Liberians are guys and myself have been talking in diaspora here about how we can move Liberia, talking about networking Liberia. Liberia has the fiber optic right from the Atlantic Ocean going into LTC Telecom. It's being sold, FTC being sold around $500,000 or so for the services. Why can the government not be fully digitized right now? You ask that question, everybody got a long story to tell you. But there's no reason why we don't lack the technology, we don't lack the expertise. We wouldn't lack the ability to allow people to come in and do it. When you ask them, they say, well, you're in America, you think you know all. Okay. But there are guys even in Liberia that I know who are extremely good. Why can't you let us bring them together?
Alfonso?
Yeah, Charlie. I mean, as you said, we talk regularly, and
Yeah.
full disclosure, when we were looking for working with some friends, we're trying to help a community college in Liberia, Grand Jita County Community College. And one of the persons the person, I shouldn't say one of the persons, the person we turned to was Chalet. Chalet helped us build a website for that college because I don't even see how you have a college or a university that doesn't have something as basic as a website. So we work with Charlie and he built it. And he's also been working with some of the young people on the ground, the technology person at the college, teaching them and organizing classes and teaching other people, including students. So I just want to make that full disclosure here. But Charlie, you talk about the GOLAP program, Government of Liberia, whatever.
Automation
Okay, automation
program, yeah.
program. Yeah, we are faced with a situation of a national identification system that we do not have. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are with the election commission doing digital voter registration program
Yeah.
and all of those things. What's your impression? What would Gola have done? What can Gola, something like Gola, do if it wasn't existent, to improve upon those systems to make sure we have, right, digital or whatever it is, identification system. And that my second part of my question is the ongoing BVR program. What's your thought? Is that is that system even trustworthy?
Well, um, the GoLab, what it would have done was to make sure every agency of government, every ministry of government will be interconnected and they would talk to each other digitally like anywhere else in the world, especially in the United States. That's the first thing. You will be able to sit at the ministry. Look, we even got to the point where we're like, the Bureau of the Budget. Why should the people of the different ministries do a budget, put it on a paper from the printer, and put it in a folder under their arm and run to the Bureau of the
Can't do
Budget
election.
to submit that document?
And
Why?
somebody got to sit on that type of hold you
And
know.
type it again. You know, every ministry can go right into the system, go into the budgetary site for the Bureau of the Budget, submit the budget. It get approved, the money go to finance, finance approve it, is in their account. So Gola was going to bring that system out where every agency will work interconnectively. First, we're going to cut down all of the bureaucracy, cut down a high degree of corruption, everything else, because the transparency would have been there, would have been able to track things and processes. So we were talking about setting up a NOC or NOC, Network Operations Center. So we're going to set up that NOC. When you go into the executive mansion, Just when you get to that place, you go to the mansion, go to LU. Right on the left hand side, there's a building right in that place there. When Mr. Taylor was there, he had his servers and thing in there. Sano and these other guys, they were all managing it. We
Yeah,
suggested,
it's that small building right after foreign ministry. Right
yes,
in
after
the
4 minutes, yes. We wanted to use that building, and they were using it during his time because all the servers are all were there. But after that time, we said, listen, that building is still available. Let's use that building and set up and not put all our servers in there, and then we'll get a team to go to all of the ministries and agencies, computerize them, network everything, and link it into the central system. All right, the first thing. That one, it was like we're going to bring God down from the sky. Nobody could listen to that. So that's one is setback. Secondly, it will enhance the security of our people because right now, I can go to Lofa, I can go to Pinsville and register to vote. And I can go right down to Waterside or Lockington and register to vote again as John Brown. I can register in Pinsville as Moses Brown because you know why? There is no way to immediately counter check my identity on the system. Why? Because we do not have a central database system. Okay. One of my church member, he was a director for Social Security one time. For me, I got my documents to show. I wrote a proposal and I sent it. I said, listen, I can do this proposal where we go out and let every Liberian have a Social Security number and take their fingerprint and we keep it in the database. And everybody who wants to do a background check on anybody, they say, well, the person in local country in the country, they can't read, right? How to do that kind of thing? I said, that's not the point. You want to have everybody identity centralized. So when something happens, we know how to find people and we know how to support the people. That would never worked. They didn't even accept the idea. We talked about it several times. And he's somebody I know very well. I mean, if I call his name, you know he was in our church. You understand? And he happy. You know, he was talking something else. Now, voter registration. If you don't have a central system and you go on the field of a laptop, it's not even connected to an internet that is not even stable, how will you do a double check when I scan my finger? How will you cross check me right away? It's not going to work. So there's going to be a lot of fraud in the system. You can't look at my face and say, oh, I know you, Charles. But the documents say I'm John Brown. What are you coming to tell me? I went to look into I voted, I killed the pins I voted. How do you know I voted twice today? Because you don't have a real-time system. So we need to step back, get Liberians people to get Liberian guys together and girls who into technology. We set up an entire centralized system. I know in Telecom right now, this Toby guy, they brought a lot of servers and they put it in there. He was showing it off. Since that time, we don't know. They have a few programs that are using with it and carry on. But why is it being segmented? We need to have a knock. That NAC is set up, everything is linked into that central database. That's what we need to do. And then we can scan everybody's fingerprint, take the picture, put it in that database. You inbox and we'll go and get you and put you in there.
Yeah, he's frozen.
The technology man freezing.
Yeah,
Whatever,
that technology.
whatever country is this?
Yeah, he's frozen. It's Charles, yeah. But
So
yeah, go ahead, Volcano.
yeah,
You were saying something.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, think about it. Look
I
how
mean,
far,
I'm a friend, Volcano.
yeah, but look how far we haven't gone.
Yeah,
Don't say look how far we've come. Look how far we haven't gone.
I'm going. Yeah,
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
No,
Yeah, come in.
say, we haven't gone anywhere.
I tell
So
you.
that's what we need to do. First thing first, people in power and what have you need to sit back and look for Liberians that have the talent. Start bringing the Indians, the Lebanese, the whoever. Liberians have knowledge. Liberians have people that have the knowledge, the skill. They work in some of the biggest IT industries in this country. There's a guy called Emmanuel. He's in California. We talk all the time. If you see what that boy can do, you'll be shocked. And we're friends. Gonda Watson, he's teaching in a North Carolina University on cybersecurity. If you see what that kid does, you'll be shocked. He's a Liberian. And there are many others whose names I don't even know yet. So we can bring them together. Let me tell you guys something. You see Rwanda, there was a guy called Injawu. He and I went to one of my computer program. when I was getting my Security Plus certification. We attended class together. He became my friend. When he got through, he went back to Kigali. Paul Kigali right now called him and said, I need you to see how you can bring this country to a digital standard. The building is there. The president offered them a building. So find anybody from Kigali who's into technology. If they come here, they have a free room to sit down. You sit down, brainstorm, design platforms that will work for our people. Some are educated, some are uneducated. Design something that the male uneducated can get. You know what he did? I'm a Liberian. I was just his friend. That was the first time I went to Kigali. He picked up the phone, Charles, I need you in Kigali. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was in Kigali for 2 months. And we started the system. Right now, you go there, you buy a piece of meat on the market. That meat has a code. When you scan that code, it will tell you which farm that cow grew up on, when it was slaughtered, how long it been in that guy's shop. You can trace it right back to its owner. What kind of feed it was feeding on, you can find it in that country. That's what those guys put together in Rwanda. And I was just a friend. He invited me. So if I can help a friend to do it for that country, what about Liberia? And they were so highly respectful. I was just downplaying it. But this is how we're supposed to do. Or people should call our Liberian technologists together, let them sit down and design a program for Liberia. Sorry, but last time I called a clinic. I said, listen, I want to design an application for you. People coming to the hospital, you got to come 6 o'clock in the morning from their home, sit down all day before they even fill up the form. Maybe they will not even see the doctor that day. I can do an app where everybody, even the person can be already and go to the cafe, call their son, call their brother, whatsoever. Before they come to the hospital, they go up to the app and do what? Fill up the form, submit it. The hospital receive it and send them a text. Okay, we see your situation. You can come in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. My Musu send her holiday and fish. She's not going to leave her market 6 o'clock in the morning. She know 2 o'clock tomorrow. She got to be at the hospital. She leave her market 1 o'clock. Come to the hospital about 2 o'clock. She see the doctor. Doctor is already prepared because he has an idea of her symptoms. If it is emergency on our scene app, he or she can strike that app, that emergency button. They can tell her, okay, run to this hospital or come to the hospital right away. We're expecting you. They already know she's coming. Okay, so I talked to the head of the clinic. He said, well, that kind of technology is not ready for Liberia because Liberian people can do it. They can use it. They're not up to that level. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And for full disclosure, I can say it here. Police director, he can call me. I got his number in my phone. Last year, something we started having a discussion. He said, Charles, I want you to set up the cyber security unit in the police department. I said, fine, I agree. I'm not charging the government any money. He said, how much it costs? I said, no, sir, I can't tell you how much it costs from the clear blue sky. But do me a favor. Do me a favor. I got all his phone numbers in my phone down to his special assistant so I can show you my phone record how many times we spoke. And I said, do me a favor. Buy me a return ticket. Only a return ticket. I have a home in Liberia. I'm not asking you for a 5-star hotel. I'm not asking you for security escort. I said, buy me a return ticket. Let me come do a need assessment. After the need assessment, I'll present a proposal. We will sit down together, develop a budget, and we'll submit it for support. Since that time to now, when I call, he don't answer his phone.
But look, Charles.
Yeah. Let me quickly share this with Charles. Fudge Monu is one of our avid viewers. He says he has a bachelor's degree in computer network security, certification in CompTIA security, and Cisco CNA. So just in case.
Yeah, I know. I mean, those guys are here. You know, those guys are here. And so we can do the work. You understand? We can do the work. But they don't seem to want to respect Liberians who have the skill. You understand? So Liberia is going to continue to remain down the drain technology. Liberia is supposed to be at the top. We have everything we can do to put Liberia at the top. You understand?
And this is the
technology hub for ECOWAS.
This is the support what you're saying. We had Mr. McCready, Adolphus McCready here the other night with us, who frown on the same behavior.
Yeah.
Government goes out there and takes foreigners to come to design the aesthetics of our country. And some of these guys do substandard work. But when he started to take us back into history and some of the engineers and architects who designed what you see, the Hotel Africa, the Egypt
Yeah.
Road, the buildings that are common to our history, it was surprising. And this is something that we didn't know. So you're right. We have overlooked what we're capable of doing. Look at how we look here tonight. Couldn't we be the CNN of Liberia?
Of
Couldn't
course
we
you
be the
could.
Fox News of Liberia? Oh no. Politicians want to open radio station to put people on the air who can speak
Yeah.
English, who can pronounce, who can write, who can comprehend. And so it kills it kills everything. And so all kinds of people are playing with your noble profession, just like all kinds of people are playing with our noble profession. And that's
Yeah.
what you have because no one is far-sighted to say, wait a minute, we got to have our own doing this. You mentioned Ghana, you
Yeah.
mentioned Rwanda. Those
Yeah.
are countries who believe in the citizens. So
Yes.
when is this? What do you call it? The Renaissance? When would this Renaissance take place? When you bring
Yeah.
it dual citizenship, you giving it piece by piece. We're not even sure if we should get visa or we shouldn't get visa. Some people already swapping passport. What type of country?
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
Is it?
You know? So go ahead, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Look,
dual
you know.
citizenship. They even won't give it to us. They gave it small, they take it, they give it small, they take it small. We all confused. Then what the guy need? What the guy who spearheading it, man? Wetty. The man said,
Oh yeah.
"How can you celebrate for something like that? All kinds of caviar and little strings attached to it. You know, the man was born in Liberia. Just get his citizenship back. Don't come
Yeah.
for
That's all.
small, small. There.
Father, yeah.
Yeah,
You
go
know.
ahead, my man.
Yeah. But look, honestly, Charles, what you said just terrified me more,
Yeah.
especially, with the election.
Yeah.
Because the information that you provided us, it tells us that the entire BVR thing they're doing in our country is a fiasco.
Yep.
Most
Because if you
Yep.
can register in Looking Town,
sorry, buddy. Let me just add
yeah,
this.
yeah,
What the guy need? Cocoyan or Chromoyan or Fromoyan? The,
from yeah,
the man said the
yeah.
whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
You didn't see a
That's a,
news. You didn't see what he said.
No, I didn't say I
No,
missed
I
it.
didn't.
you
He
cannot
said
verify anybody on the spot. You
he
cannot
said,
verify anybody.
nothing is improved. It is the old scam. He calls it a
Yeah.
scam. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You,
and
you,
and, and Charles, just to buttress the point, I think it makes it even difficult to reconcile the information you're getting because
yeah.
the one you're getting from Tumbo Village, where the man literally carrying a laptop,
Yeah.
he has no central system, to
No.
feed that. So
No.
everything is coming. Now you tell us, Charles, we got less than 6 months to go to election. How we gonna do this thing here? With all the crises that you just
Oh
made
no.
mention,
No.
but maybe you
It's
just
out.
terrify us more.
It's out because it's not something you're going to do overnight. Okay. The
Yeah,
only way it happens, except for example, we get Starlink from Elon Musk, put it
yeah,
up there, install Starlink in the country, and then. But first thing first, we have to acquire the data. We have to collect the data from the people. So we set up a server. They have servers in telecom. We can set up, configure the server, put Starlink up, make sure all those laptops on the field are connected, and move all the data of those laptops into a central database. Now, if you got to see on the people laptop, the man going home on the keke, somebody jacks his laptop, steal it. What
yeah,
happens?
yeah.
It's over.
Data is
It's over.
gone. It's gone. So
There,
we need to have
there
a
goes
system
my
where
that.
the
There goes
laptop,
my brain.
My man,
the
let me
laptop is
making
put on
us,
feeder.
but my man, Charlie, you making us scared too bad now, my man. We
No,
even
but
know
I
what
said,
to say.
Yeah.
but
But
if
let
it's
me
still that
add to what.
laptop,
Let me add
But
to
that's a
that.
good example. If somebody jack your laptop, you coming from the field, you coming
yeah,
collecting your little data in
Everything gone, my man.
everything
you know that you got all we are, granted kind of vote, and then somebody can
see,
The men attract the people from Ghana all the
But
way to Cayman
yeah,
and our whole laptop lost.
and to add to what Charlie is saying, the election commission announced that the
Yeah,
reason they haven't given the final count for voter registration in the first 6 counties
yeah.
is that they want to go in, harmonize the system, and take out duplicate registrations.
Mm.
That's what they're claiming. Let's say
okay,
they are. So first of all, what that presupposes is that they believe they are that duplicating
Yeah.
registration was possible.
Yes.
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 That's the
That's a
first point.
confirmation.
So they
Yeah,
just confirm what the man
they
said.
just
Yeah.
confirm what Charlie said. The second point is when people vote on election day, are you going to take a month, 2 months, 3 months to
Yeah, to
To
verify
reconcile.
again to see
verify
where people
again.
voted, wherever in clear system before you announce
Is
results?
it?
Wow.
No, that's not
No.
going to happen. So
No.
we're going to get duplicates as well.
Yeah.
If
If
the
you go,
registration
yeah,
system
Oh
permits
my God.
duplicates,
yeah.
what's there to tell us that the election day voting system will not permit duplicates?
But first thing first, the question is, how do you determine if this child are registered in Logantown is a
Yeah.
different child in Painesville? So you're
Yeah.
going to pull out the duplicates. How do you know which one is the
How do you
duplicate?
determine that?
How do you
Yeah.
determine? Those are algorithms that you have to design. And we have Liberians programmers that can do it. Okay, so if the system was set up before, once we scan everybody 10 fingers, if you notice now, those of us who travel in and out of America, they
Yeah.
scan your 10 fingers. And right now, we do our retina, your eye scanner. You get to the airport, you just
Hmm.
put your face in the thing, and scan it. Because even me, I can take my 10 fingers and register today. Tomorrow, I can come back with my same 10 fingers and register. You'll never know. Because as a cybersecurity person, I know what to do with my fingers to make the identity different. So that one is out of the window. The only thing you cannot change is the retina in your eye. And we even get to the fingerprint yet, then we're talking about the eye, it's not going to happen.
But
And you
man,
understand?
you're too
So
advanced, man. You're taking you out
yeah,
a different level now.
yeah, and, you know, and Liberia is solely exposed when it comes to cybersecurity. We are highly vulnerable.
So, Charles,
Nobody in that country takes cybersecurity seriously. You
this is
know?
where I wanted to come in quick. We see a lot of the officials in government or the special assistant. These are guys who using the personal emails
Yeah,
with all of the
Yeah.
information
yeah.
in the ministry,
Government
and
communication. Can
they
you
walk
imagine that, man?
around the place.
Gmail, Yahoo, and MSN.
And then when you fire the man care what he did that with him.
Everything.
Yeah.
You can't do
And
nothing.
Volcano, the point you made is so important, right?
Yeah.
You cannot, like the for us here, none of us when we go to our respective offices,
The
we
man-
do not use our private emails.
yeah,
It's not possible.
No.
what's it you were coming?
No.
They come up with to start something. Listen to him.
Yeah.
In America, how did he come out in the sense of
See, now,
You're not the
remember
only
Thomas said, no, that Thomas said he's in America and he
Yeah, I
ended
ain't
up in the
making money in the
census in
sense of
Liberia.
yeah. How come?
Huh?
no? He's just
Somebody register.
won't start something. I know that man.
That's not,
But most
you
of
see,
us, yes, we go to work. We use
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
use official, email addresses. In
Yeah.
fact, some of the sisters and Charles can speak to that.
yes,
When they send you, when someone send you an email, if that email is coming from the private account, you can't even open it.
you cannot open it because
You
we
know?
set the conditions.
Yeah,
It has to come from the official email account of the organization or the company or the agency. So
yeah.
why up to this time we do not have that EDU for Liberia? Okay, it's
listen
not a
to
difficult thing to get. In
Listen to
America, every educational institution have a domain extension that edu, that this, that gov, what have you. Okay, we have it that LR. But when we're going to get it that edu, that LR, it's so easy. All you have to do is to come register with the International Educational Foundation, is assign. Liberia is mostly prototype of America, so it's pretty easy to get. I can sit down in Liberia and hack any system in Liberia in 15 minutes. Liberia is highly vulnerable. Okay, I've done it several times. Look at people alive. I have my friend working in one of the banks. I won't call him. I don't want him to lose his job. Yeah, I just sent you an email. He replied the email, and I printed to his printer. He almost dropped for his seat. He was like, "What happened?" I said, "No,
How come?
you know, you know." So, and these high school kids in America now, they are so much advanced when it comes to ethical hiking. Okay, so you got to be on the top of your toes. How do you know you're sitting there, someone's in the back end doing something on your computer? Everybody on social media, they're putting everything critical on social media on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is so secure. Really? There's something called man in the middle. All I gotta do, sit on your device. When the communication is going through, I'm in the middle. I intercept it, take a copy. It coming to you, it look normal, but I already have intercepted it. Simple. Man in the middle.
Yeah.
You go to people's offices, their computer screen are on. You can see everything on the government work on the screen. What is that? Over the shoulder surfing. I can just come to your office, pretend I'm speaking to a Volcano, but I'm watching your screen. I pick everything from there. No security mind for the things. And the world is now waiting for Liberia. They're going to hit Liberia one day, especially the financial system. They're going to sit down and put their hands on their knees and cry because it is highly, I'm telling you, it's highly vulnerable. Very vulnerable. I can tell you that for a fact. So until we can wake up to sit down and bring Liberians technologists together, not the Indian man, not the Lebanese man, not the Chinese man, bring Liberians together.
So listen to me.
Look at we there for you, Volcano.
So because we say that some people using the personal email, they got everything. Except when we have fire using Fago, he took a whole data. Every night the man just release more.
So Charlie,
Yes,
Charlie, let me ask you a question and then you continue. Are you saying to us that, for instance, the election system is vulnerable?
Hold on, small. Rams doesn't say Megan talk about Charlie talking or
Charles is very educating us tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you haven't tested the system, so I don't want to I don't expect absolute answers here. But you seem to be suggesting that the election system is vulnerable to hack, and our banking system is also vulnerable to hack.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
and
you
the reason being that one, they're using an open internet system. It is not filtered. It comes from Lone Star or Orange straight into every desktop and the internal servers they have. So what I gotta do, I just gotta do a ride. We call it a ride alone in cybersecurity. All I gotta do, listen, I can send you an email message. You see it. Let me tell you a simple thing. When someone sends you an email, you already know who it's coming from. Look at the extension of that email. Don't just look at it and say Charles Howard. You say, oh, that Charlie, you click it. Charles Howard at what? Doesn't look like a legitimate email domain name, first thing first. But because they come to Volcano as Charles Howard, he knows Charles Howard, he don't hesitate. He click open. But you know what? In the back of that email, what people don't understand, the programming language in the back, just that you click exit, open, and send. There's a function in the back of the programming code that when you click that button, it tells it to act. So I can send you an email and put there, hit reply. But when you hit reply, you grant me access to your system because the program language in the back is only attached to the tab. So the face of it tells you hit reply to reply Charles. But when you hit reply, you say, Charles, welcome into my system. So simple as that. I just got to send a Gmail to somebody in the election system, okay, and make it look nice. And maybe they know me or they know something. Maybe I say, can I help with there? Or from the Minister of Justice. They say, oh, that Minister of Justice, open that email and read it. So you click open. Open the front door right away because you automatically executing that command. And so I can access that system. I can put things on your screen and you go and click it. I say, oh, or click this thing, the flash exclusive, click this thing to clear your browser. Really? Clear your browser? I'm telling you, click this thing to give me access to your browser. So what needs to happen is that we need to sit down, set up our NOC. And in that NOC, there are filters, there are switches, there are security apparatus we put into place. And we get our domain names or Ministry of Justice.gov.lr. You don't have that name coming in, it's not going to pass through the firewall. We can define the firewall. So when it comes in from the internet, it is sifted in our servers before it is allowed to go to our desktops in the office. And nobody take their laptop home and connect it to their personal email or internet services. Because when it goes home, I can do anything with it, browsing their Facebook or gossiping on whatever, on TikTok, and what have you. TikTok is one of the main front door. WhatsApp, one of the main access to people's system. You know, so we need to set up a system that can filter. So when that NOC is set up, every agency is connected to the NOC. So anything coming into government, it goes through that central entrance like the airport. When you go there, they scan your passport and grant you access. So when that system is set up, every minister get an internet connectivity from that NOC. So nothing coming through that the guys will not see in the IT department. And we did it at the U.S. Embassy. Before you say something, we know what coming here, what going out. Incorrect, it will just bump it out. send it to spam, or it delete it, or it rejects it. Simple as that. Those are not gigantic technology, brothers. Liberians have the skill to do it. We can do it. But we need the government, the people in power to have the willingness, the desire to put system into place for Liberia. Not because I'm in this government, so I will do this today because I wanted to show my face. Why you want to start building roads today when 4 years ago you knew the road needed to build because election coming? That's what you want to build a road for? But why didn't you build a road when you leave the road remain there to benefit the people?
Yeah.
Why didn't you set the system up? Government will come, government will go. Liberians and Liberians remain. So put a system in place that when you're not there, people come and improve on it and benefit Liberia. But everybody want to put something that only to say, I put it there. When they leave, the other person say, well, I
So,
don't like
so,
that.
so that brings me to the question. That brings me to the question. Quick, just from your point of view of everything that you talked about here tonight, uh, what would it cost? I know technology is expensive, but what would it cost for Liberia to really become this digitized society, this society that would network, where the system would talk to each other? If we even start at the government level, because the private institutions would do things eternally to secure their own, but at the government level, if we were to do this, how much money this would cost? Just a ballpark figure. Every time we ask for money in this issue room, yeah, don't give us numbers, but
You
just
said
like
not only money, numbers. Nobody get a number.
music.
Nobody can wants to give us numbers.
I
Huh?
mean, from what I know, because I've been dealing with the system
Charlie,
for a long
Charlie,
time, on the top
Charles,
of my head,
Charles,
yeah,
the
yeah,
reason I'm asking this question is because sometimes when you hear these things, it sounds like we're so poor as a nation that we can't do it. But that's not the case.
no,
We are resolved to do anything that we want to do. And if we put that monies aside, we
yes,
can do it together.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what it would be like?
To just put up a basic system, get all the hardware, softwares, deploying cables, deploying or systems and what have you. For just from the brain of my head, looking at it from what I know, a cool 5 million could get Liberia on the road.
Oh
Hmm,
Okay,
wow.
a cool five
small
million.
money.
Small money,
Yes,
man.
we can pull Liberians engineers together, and I can tell you we can start that whole system and start to build on it because we just the building is there, the facility is there. We just need to get the NAC set up, bring the hardware in, deploy guys to the different ministries. They already got, I think they got some network in those buildings and what have you. Put in the switches and the routers and all, and connect it to the NAC. So a cool 5 million can even start the ball rolling in no time. Then we can start developing the application to do biometrics, to do different kind of scanning. And also we need to digitize all of the documentation in the government. The federal government here, you want to do anything, you go online, you fill out the form, right online, you
Oh,
submit it,
yeah,
you
everything.
write
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's
But now you gotta
online.
go passing people all around. What happened? We got a team sitting in one room. Those guys can be designing all the digitizing all the forms. They be doing their own work. Another team is supposed to run the cables from all the buildings. Another team deploying the servers. We sitting there identifying how it will function. We can get this thing going. It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
But it's possible because $5 million is nothing.
It's nothing.
If we are making trip to go for the coronation of the
Oh,
king,
King Charles.
yeah, now I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
look at all the money he spent on travel.
yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
know,
that's easy venture. But let me just quickly remind people we're here. 150th edition is about 8 o'clock here in our studios here in Philadelphia. Moses and Alphonso Charles is our guest here tonight. We're discussing the technological advancement that Liberia has not been able to be a part of, irrespective of some of the gains made through the alien government to bring in a fiber optic connectivity in the country, yet we haven't done much. It's as infinitesimal as it can be. And honestly, there's a lot more we need to do. We'd like to ask you to continue to share the link, invite others here to join us. This conversation is intriguing. We're learning a lot, and we see where our country is with regards to the vulnerability. We'll be opening the lines very shortly. 404-272-2808 is the number to call and weigh in, and let's talk to Charles. Moses, I think you
Yeah.
next, right? Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask Charles. Our system is so archaic,
yeah.
and help us understand why is it that successive governments in Liberia, have been so indifferent to technology. And what do we need to do to really move forward?
One, technology will expose them because you can have a footprint. Because, for example, if you send an email to the director of this, the
Yeah.
copy of that email remains on his email server. I have my own server. All my clients have their email addresses, but I can pull up all their email. That's what we do in America. That one when they say they get a subpoena and go to the phone company, get your phone record. That's how it is. So it will expose them. That's one of the fear.
Okay.
Secondly, again, they just for me, I said they're just not interested. They don't see it because they think is Liberian people. They think Liberian people are not up to the task. They're not up to the mindset. So I asked the doctor. I said, "Do you think Bill Gates would have said because Americans at the time did not know how to use computer, he was not going to build computer?" We have to introduce it and educate our people and bring them up to speed with the situation, with the technology, and we can do that. Case in point, all the schools in Liberia, simple thing like Google Classroom. Why are they can't even use Google Classroom? You know what Google doing? Google is dropping free internet in other parts of Africa. Go to Togo right now. They're dropping free cable. They have our Minister of Education even try to see what Google doing to bring educational services to Liberia for the schools to benefit. I know that because I went to Togo for the schools. The guy is here and said, Charles, we gotta go see what's going to happen. Google say they're dropping the internet for educational purpose. Free. Free.
But instead of man tapping the resources, he firing the postal telecommunication.
You
Yes.
know, it's free. So every child can use Google Classroom. My son, my son was 3 years old. He know how to use all the technology in his school. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
Okay. But my son in Liberia, he don't even own his own laptop. He don't even know how to use it. So what is that? What makes it different? You understand? What makes it different? So we can do it, but the willingness of the people in positions to help to expedite it is where we have the problem. Okay, right now as I'm talking, some people cussing me, someone who watching that, they're cussing me already.
Oh yeah, they're
Let me
angry
tell you
with
that.
you right now. Yeah,
I
they're
know.
angry.
You
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
cause it. You can
they're
cause
discussing me right now.
Yeah, yeah,
The other day I did something, I sent it to a certain minister. I said, listen, I called, he said, okay, write a minister letter, an email. I said, okay, Mr. Minister, I have this app I'm developing for Liberia to use for the police and for crime at no cost to Liberia. I have the email, I can show it to you. At no cost, I designed the app, I've tested it. It's been 2 months. I
No
cannot get a
reply.
reform. I said, let's just have a Zoom. Let me explain to you what it would do. 2 months, I got the email. I can forward to you. When
Yeah,
I
but
called, the person said they were sick, they had surgery. When I called, the person said, oh, you know the man busy and that kind of thing. This is technology. You can, I mean, I don't understand. At no cost to Liberia, I did it. I set up my server. I took a few minutes because it's nothing for me to do. I got my own system, so I can do it. But for the love of Liberia, I did it for free. I just want to talk to you to allow it to be used by law enforcement. I will support it. But my brother, it's been 2 months. I cannot even get a reply to the email, let alone.
The
So you
number to
see,
call 404-272-2808,
that's the problem.
404-272-2808.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Please call right now. John Ossier and let's engage Charles. River says, Pro, it's been a while. Welcome back, my brother. I know you're pushing your cartoon. Uh, see Tyrone Marshall. Hi and welcome to the show, my brother. Thomas Awaji. Thank you for joining here tonight. Ram Snutton, Shaggy McAfee. It's good to see you. Someone is watching from Liberia, up Mount Zion. Is the nickname here tonight. Who is watching? Fergie Monu, Manin Sumo, and the likes of Mapu Hall, S. Edward Nefor, Gregory Himmins Stem. Welcome, my brother. It's good to see all of you here tonight. Uh, Hope you're having a good time with us, learning and understanding. Alfonso.
Yeah. I think this is really fascinating. I mean, Charlie, you touched on a lot of things. So the direction I wanted to go is, the role of technology in promoting development
Yes.
and the role of technology in even promoting productivity at work.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
uh, for instance, I don't know of any agency or institution in government where workers go to work and can just clock in and clock out for lunch and clock out when they go
Yeah.
home, those kinds of things, which has to do with productivity. When is this person
Yep.
getting to work? What are
Yep.
they doing to work? When they're leaving, etc.
Yep.
And then development. And as you were talking, I was thinking of what I read on Korea. South Korea was an agrarian economy just as Liberia is, subsistence farming. But the
Oh,
government
interesting.
invested in development
Yeah.
and technology. And
Yeah.
just as you said, they brought people back home who went to school. They sent people out to learn technology. And then they started their development, a 10-year development plan. They
Yes.
started building when we were kids in school. We used to get the calculators from Korea.
Yep.
Then later they start building the Daewoo cars and all of
Yes.
that, and then
Yep.
yellow machines. And then over the 10, 20-year period, South Korea has the fastest internet service
Yep. Yep.
in the world, not even America. So it's possible. So walk us through the process of how technology can impact development in a country and also create productivity at work and improve the economy and create jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Walk us through that process if you can.
Yeah. First thing, discipline.
Yep.
When you go to work in the morning here, as soon as you clock into your phone, that means you've already signed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in Liberia, I can get up 8 o'clock and go to the market, come back, get to work 10 o'clock, leave at 2 o'clock for lunch, come back 2 o'clock for lunch, and leave 3 o'clock to go home.
That's right.
So if the man clocks into his phone when you come to work, he has to be to work 8 o'clock, 8:15 latest. When you clock in, it begin to monitor. He's not by his desk. Somebody will know because the way the system where people don't know in America is that when you leave that phone for more than an hour, it automatically go into disable. It means that you're not sitting there because it's doing that kind of a connection with you and your computer. Many people don't notice that. So that's what some people know they don't mess with it. You see, you got to be on that phone every night, then call coming to that phone for your desk. You don't answer that phone 2, 3 times, something is wrong. Your manager going to walk by your cubicle and take a peek. You understand? So if we have that kind of discipline, people will start to be productive. Secondly, is that again, the telecom system has to be effective. Okay, everybody paying for Lone Star. You got data, you can make a call. Why telecom up to this time has not been able to deploy connectivity all over the country? Why? Liberia is not big. Liberia is as big as Delaware, so that's not something difficult to do. You understand? And we don't even have the kind of infrastructure to say, oh, you can't, you got to break this building. No, everywhere is open, so it's easy to do cable connectivity to all these places. So when we have a system that can monitor our productivity on the job, it will improve it because the man knows that when he don't clock in at this time, that phone goes into overlay, it locks up. If you come 9 o'clock, it may not open. If you sign in, it will open and document your time. And then your manager will say, listen, you're not productive because you don't come to work on time. 2, 3 times, you are fired. When people get to know these things, they will not go to the market in the morning, come to work because my uncle is the director, so I come to work when I feel like. We got to get rid of that crazy. You know. Secondly, in uh, 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 in Kigali, in Ghana now, working on a program where every agriculture person making a farm, the Minister of Agriculture knows. So why Liberia is easy. We set up a database. All the counties have people. Sends people all into the counties. Everybody, the person who growing cassava, Edo, yeah, whatever the supply, get the database collected. You producing cassava, yes. Charles is producing cassava in my Bromley. Alphonso is producing Edo in Bokenyinima. So the Minister of Agriculture knows when the Minister of Agriculture is about to distribute agricultural product or what have you, they don't have to go send town crier to the town. Who you planting cassava in your cow? No.
Because the
They
data is
already
already
know
there.
from that
Yeah.
database. Charles is Imbo Kenyinima. He's producing cassava. We know how many people in the country producing and growing cassava. So they need cutlass, they need holes, they need this. They know how much things to acquire, equipment to
That's
acquire.
true.
They know how to distribute it because they know where it is located. Who
Yeah.
growing yam, we already know. And when it's coming to the farm, we can track their productivity. Because when they come, when they bring the yam down, it is stamped. Whatever store they want to sell it to in the market association have a system where they should be able to stamp that product. And when they stamp it, they collect the identity of that person, know that he brought cassava and yam to the market. That way means agriculture knows which region is producing what more and where is it going down, where they need to put their emphasis, how much equipment they need to get for the farmers out there to do the work to grow their crops, how much fertilizer, health-wise, they know that. So all those things can be collected and synchronized into a simple database. Listen, it's just a matter of writing the database. It is not rocket science. It's just a matter of writing the database, like the entry form, right? You go to fill out the form, your name, your date of birth, your place of birth, your address, what kind of work you do, your career. That's it. And it is collected. So then now the minister can sit down and say, how much whole do we need for Liberia and people selling who planting cassava? He can just go to the database and know how many holes he need to get and where it should go. So when he send the holes to Bon County, he know how many going there. It has to be distributed. When the farmer receive that hole, he go to his smartphone and tap and click on the line, item receive. The Minister of Agriculture have it. He know they receive it. But you go look right now, the whole is sending in the market downtown. It even costs really yet. So those things can help to bring drive development. You see, how many students going to school in Liberia? I don't know, but I don't think if you call the Minister of Education right now, asking how many students are enrolled in public schools, they can give you the exact number. I could be wrong. I
No,
don't know.
Charles, I definitely agree with you.
You see?
Because the people are not, we have no central system for data collection.
Nothing.
So the people in Tumbo village, they have their own data. The other people on the other side, when you send your information to
Yeah.
say the district education officer, he has one little cartoon that he packs everything in. How do you expect the guy at the Ministry of Education to
Why?
know the
Why?
number of schools
The,
in Tumbo
what's
village?
it? The
They
cartoon?
don't.
Why the cartoon gotta be
Because
yellow?
that's where they keep all the papers. Oh, my man, you don't know. Look at and Charles, not to take you off tangent,
Yeah.
right? Just as you were saying, go to the legislature. All those legislation that have been passed over the years, where are they? They are all stuck up in boxes.
Yes.
So how do you even do a
So
research?
it's just a matter of fire, that's all. And then all of that,
Right. That's all.
you know.
So ask me today,
But
can we
listen,
go to
Charles,
Liberia and go to
Charles,
the national? Yes.
this guy is saying that we should ask you to talk about the CC camera that was talking about. How is it relatable to the digital age, the CC camera? Um, because we are saying for people to protect themselves,
Then
they
you
must have
see
the CC
camera, yeah.
camera.
Get right
Okay.
there. What's this
To have
do?
CC, to
What?
have
Yeah,
CCTV, you
yeah,
talking about
Yeah,
the CCTV they
CCTV.
got
Yeah,
in Europe,
yeah,
right?
CCTV. Yeah.
Again, it has to be connected to a central location that is being monitored. If you got it in your home, you got to have internet connectivity all the time to keep that system running and recording the thing. No
So
internet,
it's
you
almost
don't.
like Blink here, right? Similar
Yeah,
to
the blink and the other things, that you got here, you got here, so you can set those things up. But if the government want to set up CCTV, they need to have the infrastructure prepared to support that connectivity. They need internet, they need either wireless connection or wire connection to every angle. And the mistake they're making is that they don't just run the wire all over the country. For example, in this block, they have a building in that block that all the CCTV camera is connected to in that building. And that building is connected to the central grid. So it's monitoring all the cameras here in different sections. And then somebody sitting at, again, the network operations center is called the NOC, is sitting there and watching all the screens, what's going on. And those things are coming in real time. And you need what? You need constant electricity. In other what they can't get having current. You need constant electricity. I don't know if Volcano, please tell me, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I was not there. During the late President Todman or October then time, when did we ever had or schedule of current coming to our community. Do we remember that?
No,
Yup.
I don't remember that. No, we have
So
constant electricity.
so this time it's supposed to be advanced, but they're giving people schedule. Current will be on the other side of the street. So my son gotta go on the other side of current and study, and you know when the current on the other side, you better go charge the phone. How will you
Yeah,
support CCTV?
yeah,
You cannot even have utility constant current, let alone connectivity. So that is a dead start right there.
man,
Okay?
it's
That's
it's
a
so
dead start right there.
it's so sad, and just to throw a little bit of funny. The other day I come in Rovio, and a friend of mine, so I asked, I said, no, I called a friend. I said, "Oh, is this where you are?" Because I was calling, via video. And then he said, "Oh no, my man, I came here to charge my phone." I said, "Oh really?" So it's like people literally moving from one location to another, just to charge phones. You see how so inconvenient it is, man. You have to move from one community to another and spend a couple of hours that when you should rather be at home doing something else, but you're there because you have no electricity.
Yeah.
Charlie, your sister watching you.
Says either hello. You know, so those are the things that is hampering development. You understand? So I read something the other day about Post and Telecom said they're doing some kind of a mail system that where they have something scanning the airways to get address, the other thing to be able to say how. So
You
if I'm
better
working
help
out
us
with it,
understand that, Charles, because
But,
our ministry is literally
but
dead.
even look at what our brother Tyrone is saying here. The marketing association that can collect money like hey,
yes,
that small money marketing association.
yeah,
Oh,
you see.
And if I pray like previous says on that phone,
still
don't
like
put
money.
it
So
in
that money for the marketing association should be able to come together to buy equipment
Yeah,
and things for the marketers who for the people who farm it and bring it to the
yeah,
market. Get them those tools and things to grow more food
absolutely.
and bring it
Yeah,
in. You
yeah,
understand? But where is that money going? Nobody knows. They just collecting money every time the people when you read all the market gets poor. Why should I not know? Listen, forget it, it's easy. Here we know you can get your phone, go to Walmart website, the way you can find that product. If it's not in
yeah,
the neighborhood Walmart, they will tell you the other Walmart is in, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So what makes Liberia different? Why can't I go say I'm looking for palm nut today and let me see which market who get palm nut?
yeah. You're
It is not
absolutely
rocket
right.
science. It's just a matter of putting the infrastructure in place, application and hardware, develop the app, and people get it and use it. You don't need gigantic phone. You
No,
know,
you
I'm
don't.
selling a cassava. When you go there looking for cassava, they'll tell you who all selling cassava on Dubai Road. You can choose
That's
who you want to
true.
buy if you know exactly where they're located.
That's
Give me
true.
text and say, listen, I'm back cassava, keep some for me. It can happen if they're doing it in other African countries. Liberia is no different. You understand? It's no different. So
Hmm.
what is the problem?
So
It boils down
Charles,
to leadership.
what do you think the way forward? That's where I was going now. What
The
is the
way forward is for people to stop thinking about themselves today. Think about Liberia, the institution. When I'm not here, what have I improved? That when I'm out of the scene, it will still benefit the people and it will continue to improve on it. What have I done? Why should I wait until I'm coming to run for city mayor? Then I start building bus stop in Pinsville. All the time in Pinsville, I know the people need a bus stop, but when they become the mayor, I start putting bus stop there.
Mhm.
Really?
Political project. Yeah.
No. Building infrastructure. Liberia and Liberians are the most important people. People don't have not gotten the message. How many presidents we've had in Liberia? How many government have come and gone? Who's still there today?
The
The
people.
Liberian people. So
That's
do
true.
it for the country, for Liberian people to develop themselves. I was talking to somebody a few days and they asked me, Brother Charles, hey man, I want to go to school. But I said, okay, what are you doing? I'm doing nursing. Okay.
Hmm.
So I look at one or the University of Ghana, the
Yeah.
University of, in Ghana there. And then I talked to the people there and they said, well, he got to have his WAS certificate and this two got to do a preliminary test. I said, okay. So I call him up. He said, oh, I don't have my WAS. Oh, first thing. When you did, oh, I will never ask him. So yeah, go and do my WAS again. I reset yet. Really?
But when were
Now,
you?
Liberians don't know that we leave Liberia. You cannot enter any college to Iowa certificate. When I came to America to go to school, I had to produce mine. They had to go back to us to verify that certificate if I would enter college in this country here. Now the person is shocked, they feel bad. Then I said, okay, let's leave that one yet. do the preliminary test. Like the team want to do. They get a preliminary test.
Was
My
a
brother, you
zero.
don't see. I was
Yeah.
shocked. So I asked, I said, what happened? He said, well, they put taught us, they taught us, I didn't see none of it on the test. You kidding me? So bringing teachers in who not even qualified. Teachers in this country do a test every time to recertify themselves in the area. You're a
That's
math
true.
teacher, you have to recertify. But anybody come from high school, come from LU, from anywhere else, I can
Here's a
teach
teacher.
in the classroom.
And you know, Charles, and what you think you're talking about the teachers, right? You have someone who is teaching language arts,
Okay.
but the man himself struggle with various subject agreement, and you know, he doesn't know when to use the word is or
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And this man is teaching, you know, language arts. So it just tells you how terrible our educational system.
Yeah.
Like all the things you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, look, we had a show and we needed to talk to, the president of the university. I went on the website of the university, completely empty,
Tell me about it.
and they're talking about having a virtual education.
Okay.
You know, so if I'm going to stay at home and the university does not even have a
The functioning
functioning
website.
website, how
Thank you.
possible can that be?
Let me
Charles,
tell you something. Let me tell you
explain
something.
this for us, man.
Few years back before Dr. Nelson went there, who were some of the president there? And listen, for me, I got the emails. I tried to engage LU through the University Association in the America.
You know,
Okay.
Dennis, was it
Eh?
Yeah,
Dennis?
Yeah, I
Dr.
think so.
Dennis, eh?
Right?
Yeah,
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 the university at Lumen in America, and most of the guys like Kelvin, other than my friends. So they
yeah.
told me for to talk how we can help the university. I said, okay, simple. I will bring together a complete college management system. It can manage from the teachers to the students to everything on that university campus. You understand? Okay. I did the prototype and I sent it. I said, watch what it can do. They kept it.
Somebody got
You,
back to
you know, they
you.
kept watching what they did. Next day, somebody called me and said, oh, we got an IT company here that developing similar thing like this.
Oh,
Are you
really?
kidding me? You can set up a system in a professor travel abroad. He can still teach his
Of
class.
course, yeah.
Students can submit that. I mean, we do that in America. It's not rocket science. Liberia can do it. The college management system is so simple. We can conform it to LU standard. But up to this time, we try to say no money. No money, no money, no money, no money, no money. You understand? So I got it. I showed it them. I mean, several times they must have on the back and forth before they brought Darren in, you know. And so
So,
we
so
don't
what do you
want
think? What do you think, your Charles, with the influx of all of these foreigners coming to do these things in our country? Don't it make our country even further vulnerable when you talk about the cybersecurity attack?
exactly.
These guys who are getting these jobs, the Ghanaians, the Nigerians who come into Liberia and opening their own little computer schools and doing this, and then being subcontracted by the government in some of the key areas. Doesn't it make the country even itself vulnerable?
That's a
Highly
good point.
vulnerable. First question. The man that came from Nigeria, Ghana, India, wherever to open this company, do you know his background? When you open this company, have you vetted him to know where he's coming from? That's the first thing. He opened this company, you gave him a contract. You haven't even done a background check on the man just because, or he came, he's an Indian guy, he's a Lebanese guy, so he's supposed to know all. You know how
Mhm.
many Liberians know more than the Indian people and the Lebanese people around this place here? You know how many Liberians can do that thing? So this man, all he got to do, just set up this system, take over it, plant a bug. We call it a backdoor, put a backdoor in. He's in India. When you don't want to pay money, he shut it down. They're running around the pigs all here. You see? So why will you do that? He want his money. You don't pay his money, he will shut it down. So Liberians who are involved, who have Liberia at heart, needs to be the one to do these things. And also you have to vet the man's security. Does he have a security clearance to have access to government network like that? Does he have a security clearance? Do they even issue security clearance in Liberia? For you work for the government, you gotta have a security clearance. Do we even do that? I mean, just come and say, I'm Charles Howard, I live in Princeton, blah, blah, blah. So give me the job. Oh, yeah. It costs, it costs like this. So, oh, that was just our grants. Okay, look,
Oh
let
yeah,
me
no,
make
hold on,
it.
Just hold on, the man can do what they call police clearance.
Yeah,
They come to your neighborhood and say you're no
yeah,
child. They say you
yeah.
oh, the funeral
Uh-uh. Eh? So what I
child.
gotta do?
Yeah.
Tell my men and my neighbor, ladies and gentlemen, I'm
Yeah,
going to do
somebody will
something.
be
They
coming.
can't ask a question, so you please tell them you know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Uh,
It's simple. You see? So how do you know this man is not a security risk to the network system? He comes from Lebanon, he comes from India. How do you know he's not even running away from crime? He's using that place as a hideout. How do you know the name he's giving to you is his real name? Did you take his ID and say, okay, call the Indian embassy? Do you know this person in this family? Do you know this family? Let's do a thorough background check where they're coming from. How do you know? You don't even know. Just because he came from abroad, so you say, oh yeah, the man know everything. He's an Indian man. They're smart. You know how many Indian people that call me every day? They don't even know squat. you know, you know how many of them. So that's why now even in America they prefer to deal with companies that are home based and foreign based. Because you never know where they call it from. They're all going by a script. The Liberians who don't need a script. They can sit down and spit out the result for you. Liberians can do that. They don't need a script because they are talented, they are educated, they're going to school. You know, and so why are we avoiding Liberians?
look at Ghanaians are the ones who are producing our passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you. So we don't have a system, we don't have a printing company in Liberia that can produce Liberian passports. The visa system at the airport, I think it's a company from Kenya or somewhere like that.
Manisuma also supports that. He says, yeah, Manisuma saying that the IT biometric is run by Ghanaians.
Okay.
And
So
when I found out in Ghana, the people are so
it
nationalistic.
would never happen.
Yeah,
It would never happen.
compromise, man. Liberians are
It
just
would never happen in Ghana. I
compromise.
worked in Ghana. It would never happen. I'm telling you. The first they could let me go, that were to set the interest at the door, are only Ghanaians, born of Ghanaian parents, both who enter that other part of the building. We all, and I knew more than some of them, but they had a responsibility. They would go find a Ghanaian. You know what they did one time? They sent them to me to train them and put them in that place. But
Oh, wow.
I couldn't go there, and I knew what to do. So for Liberia, by the time I come from Ghana, come from Nigeria, oh, the man know it. Put him in the office. Let him run this thing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So what? So they don't respect Liberians, and that's why Liberia have a brain dream right now. You see, he's telling Liberia about going to Liberia to do something, but man, forget it, man. The brain red. I'm gonna waste my time. You know. So that's the problem, and we're being insulted. Not just IT people, but other professional people, accountants, financial management people. You know, security. Look at this boy, Papi Avery, his military background. You think he couldn't use his military background to help to improve the army of Liberia? He's vast, he's well educated in the area, he's served this country, he been to all kinds of dangerous places, he knows about military platform and every other thing. Oh, please.
So Charles, let me ask you this hypothetical question. Yeah.
He's just
Okay.
about to leave. He got a class to teach.
Oh, really?
So that's
Oh,
great.
okay.
I wanted to bring the
Yeah.
what type of country so he can participate.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
let
no
him
problem.
ask him. All right.
Yeah.
So listen, we have a segment called "What type of country is this?" We're about to introduce it, and you will join us here so you can
And
put your.
tell us
comment.
about the
We
IT
already
business.
started covering some stuff in. So here. Welcome to What Type of Country Is This? Uh, that's the only country we know. And Charles,
Yes.
Moses will kick us off so you can see how it goes. We cover a lot of technological issues here tonight. We are way behind, and so I'll let Moses start.
So, Charles,
Yes.
what type of country is this when the election is less than 6 months away, but our entire data process is in crisis? What type of country is this?
It's going nowhere. Period.
What type of country is this?
This is a country that
Yeah.
is heading backwards instead of forward. Politicians get angry with me. I will tell you straight up. It is heading backwards. First thing first, the moment you talk something, instead of people try to rationalize it, they get angry and start insulting you. And instead of thinking on the real thing you're talking about and be honest to themselves, they say, oh, you're selling in America, you're doing this and that. No, they don't understand it. You see? So the country is heading in the wrong direction technology wise. Until we can stop, full stop.
But Charles, stop that. The country is not heading in the wrong direction. The country is already in the wrong direction.
So we need to
So you're
stop.
being euphemistic.
Yeah. So
It's
we need to
already
stop.
stagnant. It's stuck here in the wrong
Yes.
direction. It's not even heading. It's stuck. It's not going
The
to.
country is sinking, my man.
We need to stop. We need to just stop and bring Liberians who have Liberia at heart and put them to the table. Educational people or technology people, legal people, security people. How can we fix this? And the people in power, it doesn't matter which government it is. I don't care because I don't care about which government it is, but the people in power have to be willing to be honest, open, and accept the recommendation of the technologists or of the people that they're talking to, because that's the way it will go forward. They just come and get position, they don't know squat because they're looking for the money. I was reading the ambassador's report, and I put one question. Please tell me yes or no if the ambassador report is a lie. Nobody could answer it the right way. We started going off and talking all kinds of things. But what is that? What is that? So we need to stop.
All right.
That's what we call what type of country is this?
So this is how it goes now. What type of country is this? Thomas Awaji, what type of country is this? Where you work 4 months without pay, but you still go to work every day. But
Yeah.
let's go here from Thomas Awaji again says, what type of country is this where LEC is on one side of the street and
Exactly.
in darkness?
Is in darkness.
It's
What
in
type
darkness.
of country is this?
But Adiaha almost says, what type of country is this when a whole country is rationing electricity
My
community by
goodness.
community?
Are you kidding me?
That's what
We got
Charles
hydro.
talking about.
And we got a hydro. So what the hydro now? Guess what? They went and established Transcor CLSG, the electric company they put in from Ivory Coast to supply power to Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Hey man, how big is Liberia? So this money, Ellen Johnson doing her time, that they were able to mobilize from the World Bank to set up Transcor CLSG. That money could not have come to Liberia and set it up. The hydro is still there. It was producing power long before we didn't have power problem. Could not be improved and sell power to Sierra Leone. We got
What type of country is this?
That
the
American-
now power company. Who owns Transcor? Who owns Transcor CLSG?
All right, Charlie, you gotta find something now. Listen,
Yeah.
don't the conversation.
So Charles, give
got
her
this
one
country.
joke. What type of country is this, my man?
all right? So
When
let's
you
go-
send a letter to the dollar
What
police,
type
and
of
you can't
country
hear
is
from you.
this? What type of country is this? When you get to the airport, the international airport, no current. The plane got to carry to Guinea.
That's a good one.
what
What
type of
type of
country is
country is
this from Furthermore you that doesn't have no data center?
What type of country
What
is
is
this?
this?
What type of country is this?
When Sonny happy, the police investigate. He got to wait 2 days. Then he got to walk to the police station or get a report. That's a the whole report. No one
You
is
see, Charles is going into more detail. What type of country is this, Charles?
Jesse Palmer says, what type of country is this when citizens go to bed at 6:30 p.m.?
Whatever country is
I got some here and I gotta go back for guys. Let me catch up with these people.
yeah.
They're pouring it
So
on.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
Maggie McAfee. Whatever country is this that refuses to have technology? The world is living in 2023 technology while like we are saying in 1985.
Whatever country is there, whatever country is there, when we go to the archive center, we see all the boxes of paperwork. When technology is far FM.
What type of country is this that the president go to a football game for
Yeah.
1 month?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Charlie. Whatever
Yeah,
country is
I see, Charlie. I see why they're not calling you back for you to establish your knock.
Whatever country is
that's
this?
how they go.
Emmanuel Jackson says the coronation of King Charles is days away, yet the president leaves days and government employees haven't received paid for
Please
months.
pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They already gone.
Yeah.
Come on, listen, what type of country is this? No law and order. I just came back from Liberia this Sunday. Everyone is doing their own thing. But we told you, you don't believe it until you go for yourself.
They go there. You know? What type of country is this? Everything go to the doctor that typhoid and malaria. Like, this is Liberia.
That's the only thing they can diagnose.
This Ram
Diagnosis.
Snodden, what type of country is this? Where there is one to pay Charles for his knowledge, no one to pay Charles for his knowledge, all the way we want to serve free
Their friend.
meal.
Yeah, friend.
Yeah, Charles, I would do
Yeah, yeah.
this free
Charles
instead
will
of getting for the
free.
member.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah.
You can't answer the phone.
Whatever country it is, my man.
What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji? When the president travels, all the government employees don't go to work.
You kidding me?
Whatever country is this? What type of country is this when government employees go to work 12 o'clock and leave at 2:04?
Yeah.
They go drink beer on Broad Street and they don't go back. They don't go back to their offices.
What type of country is this that the National Telecommunication Office cannot even have control over the telecommunication in the country? It is seized out of foreign people. What?
What type of country is this, Charles?
Please tell me.
What type of country is this, Tara Maja? That little Ghana we birth has become a giving for us.
Yes.
Yes. What type of country is this?
You hear me?
What type of country is this when public officials have not taken pay for months?
Yeah.
But the president departed for London today with thousands of dollars.
Exactly. What type of country is this? Sandy McAfee, the LEC is rationing CCTV use. Now the criminals know whose house to target because no light and no CCTV.
Can you imagine that?
But Charles, you just exposed the people's secret. you got a camera mounted on your house, but it's not working.
It's just that
Ram Snowden, what type of country is this? Forgetting the landscape surrounding her when she got a great advantage.
Yes.
Yeah,
know,
what type
What
of
type of
country?
country is this, Thomas Awaji? When the police arrest you, you have to pay for the gas to take you to jail.
When you come to your case, when you come to your case, can you imagine that? When I designed an app, listen, I designed an app, Volcano. I designed an app telling the people, say, listen, every police can have it. Whenever he have a case, he can stay right there and submit that report straight to Central.
And the people refuse to utilize it. What type of country is it?
What type of country is this? Adia Umo. When you apply for entry visa and they gave you 3 months visa, you spend 6 weeks, then you leave it. You are told you needed to regularize your stay.
I already got 3 months. I'm regularize my
You say you overstay your visa.
Yeah, no, they say the visa you got at 3 months.
Now
but
3 months.
They only stamp your passport at the airport for 30 days.
Yes.
What contrast is that?
It happened to me. I can bury my parents, Volcano. I can bury my parents. I stay in Liberia 2 weeks. I go back to the airport and I pay $150 because my visa only stamped for 10 days. Are you kidding me?
And your visa is valid for 3 months.
That's what they say. So I look at my passport. So what are you talking about? They say, no, I got a stamp. But
The
you gotta pay, but
corruption,
you gotta
corruption
come to
is
the house.
it's
Oh
just
no, my man,
it's
that
corruption in
exploitation,
Liberia. It's
man.
just
Oh my
I mean,
God.
and you know, honestly, Moses, the corruption,
Yeah,
there's no shame to it anymore. People are
Yeah.
literally looking you in the face and telling my man, you know what to do. You
Yeah.
know what to do.
that
Yeah.
Guys
desperation,
don't want
Volcano.
to do what you know what to do,
Yeah.
but you have to do what you know what to do so you can get
Yeah,
other
they
things.
tell you, say, oh, my man, you're not ready, my man. You know what to do.
But again,
I know. You know. So
Wow.
it's scary. You know.
Very scary.
what
How
type
can
of
you ride
country is
on how can you ride on keke and put jacking your phone for you?
Yeah,
People
can you
going now.
imagine?
How?
what type
What
of
type of
country is
country
this?
is this?
Because
Yeah.
when you leave a window open your neck for air,
Yeah.
but you have to worry about a mosquito and arm rubber.
Because the border will come. What type of country is it that you have to put iron bar in your ceiling to prevent war? I mean, to
Yeah.
prevent armed robbers from entering the house because they
They,
say they
That's
what?
true. They
they
did it to
find,
They're gonna
me.
pass through the zinc now, right?
They did it to my house. That's not how I did it to my house. My picking come, he said, Papa, they broke. I saw you mean they broke. He said, oh, they came through the ceiling. And now what?
Yeah.
They moved the zinc. So now we put the iron bar off for the on the
Ah,
ceiling in the house. What is this?
yeah, what type of country?
so
Yeah,
why
but
did why
that,
did
that is
why did
very, very,
fire catch the house? What will happen?
it's very
How will you
risky,
get
my
out?
man.
But
So
listen,
everybody living in a prison. Everybody living in their own mini prison. Because you got iron bar everywhere. Fire catch the house, you're confused, you're disoriented, you can open the iron bar, you're
Yeah,
coming down.
yeah.
that's not to say what type of country is this. The president took a trip to go meet Arsenal former coach. All his followers are wearing scarves in spring weather.
Yeah.
So they got the scarves on.
Yeah.
In spring weather.
Once I met where is late night Africa hustling money.
So Jackie McAfee said I had a 3-year visa. When I arrived, the immigration said I had to pay him for 3 years visa to be active. I
Yeah.
refused, and he sent my passport for 1 month. He said, as I quote, says you don't want me to eat somebody eat out when I eat too.
He said, "My man, say you say you stop, I will show you myself." What type of country is this, my
I said
man?
the corruption is brazen. There's you go to the bank, the people literally tell you say, think I go to go collect money because I'm doing building project. $3,000 guess I can get it $3,000 because
Yeah,
I
but
take it all
what?
the money. They ain't got the other people they got to get at least
Your
100.
own money, oh.
So I said, but the money was sent. It was sent with a fee. And if you didn't have money in the bank, they were not going to come transfer my money here.
Yeah, where you
Oh,
transfer my money? Yeah.
Then she went in the back, she came back, and
The
who
chief.
can talk to the manager. Just something. So I said, well, what kind of something? Jeff found $100. I said $100. You know what $100 can do? We ended up I had now giving $50 because I needed the money to get out of there. But
Yeah.
kind of bad
Yeah, it's
corruption.
terrible. What type
It's
of
sad.
country is
It's
this?
sad.
Yeah.
Even the banks are where the corruption is. You know what
and
they
all
do?
these things come
You
from
know
the
what they're doing in the
CIA.
banks? You know what they're doing in the banks? They
No.
go in Alphonso account, take his money,
Yeah,
go turn it around.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Then
yeah.
they turn it
Give it to the
around.
money changer.
They turn it around. Then they come
Give
back.
it to the money changer.
And put the man money back.
When you go for your money, they say in there, or they give you money, your
The
money.
money changer got the money.
managing your report, yeah.
Wow.
Listen, your
What
country
type of country is this?
was it? I couldn't finish.
That your money in the bank, my man, you have no surety.
What type of country is this? I sent a laptop for my son. A man of God refused to give it. He's not even educated. Now, he never released it. So the man of God,
Oh
the man of God got the laptop, but the man of God, the man of God, not even educated. He knew what to do with laptop, and he won't get it for his laptop.
Is it the laptop too expensive?
yeah.
The man of God refused.
What type of country is this? Someone's watching where you lock your door at night. It sounds like a gate.
Sound like a good. I ain't good. Yeah,
Everybody in a mini prison. Everybody in a mini prison. Everybody got iron gate. Huh?
You know,
And,
you
and I
know,
too, when you lock in the door, the gate, you can hear bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
you know, Volcano, In the West, when the man is going to bed at night, he tell him, if he's going early, he say, "Well, babe, I'm heading to bed now. I'll see you."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
back with what type of country is it? When a man's going to bed, tell the woman, "So you coming message for that old ass man behind the door."
You see,
Because when the people they put you there, when you the time I see the enter so rough for God. The people can't talk on cell phone. Make sure you put on the cover behind the door.
Say again, midnight. When they push the door, midnight.
anyway,
Don't
Johnny, man,
forget,
I'm
oh.
telling you, man.
Don't forget to put that BS man behind the door.
When everything fall down, quick, they say somebody in the home.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand. We have to wake up. It has to be about Liberia, not about you. You know?
Charlie,
Yeah, man.
we have to bring it back.
You put the S man behind the door.
By popular demand, we'll bring it back. So we can
Yes, they gotta come back.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So,
Let me know.
so we're gonna
Yeah, so to conclude, the thing is that Liberia have the
Yeah.
knowledge, this talent, everything we can do. We need the people to respect Liberians' knowledge, respect Liberians. Liberians in America are working in critical industry in this country, from the national security down to whatever. We can do it in Liberia. We have the people to do it. But because they don't respect Liberians, that's the problem. And until they wake up to that fact, we'll continue going to Book and Unima.
Yeah.
thank you, Charles. We'll catch up with you, my man.
Thank you, Chai. It was
Thanks,
a
guys. It
pleasure,
was a
man.
pleasure being
my
here.
villain
Yeah.
name, my man.
This
Stop
was
sleeping my
very, very
villain name.
informative, man. You know.
Don't call him my villain.
So just remember, when you go wherever you cost it, when they put in the arrest, you can cost and give it like you say you can.
What am I going to say? You cost the policeman paying for it.
He came to the boy. He said, "Big brother, move on."
We'll come back. Charlie, my man.
I'll see you guys.
All right.
It was a pleasure, Chai.
All right. We'll come back. We'll come back. But let's do the memory link quick.
Yeah. What type of country?
I'm going to say you can't help yourself now. I think you. Let me catch my breath like
You know, I beg you, man. Let me get it.
Don't make me pray, man. Who can't get no more? How many members you got?
State country.
That is their country. The same way you the chairman of membership, he say yes.
Hold on, we finish here. Audience, we finish here. You hang on with us. All right. So tonight's memory lane by Dr. Emmanuel Sumo. He says here that child not mine. Okay, that child is not mine. I want Sase Wood or swear to offer or will do blood tests to prove that the Bella is for me. So what he's trying to say here is those were the olden days of how we were able to try to prove. Today we're using technology, right? So it coincides with the conversation we had tonight. So it considers that to be the African DNA that was being used those days. God bless the woman for the humiliation that she went through, right? Because this day woman pregnant for the man and the man bouncing grumble. He said, "I'm not a baby." He said he want to sasewu, he won't do blood tests, all of that just to prove it. Until DNA came about. So he said, despite the invention of DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, Liberia has her own DNA, and those were the DNA that Liberia was using. Our people used to perform sasewu, or they made our mothers to swear to a God they believe could not accept lies, to prove paternity, or they did blood tests. Lofa County had Cuatamo.
Yeah. Ain't that man from internet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Lofa County had Cuatamo and the Ministry of Local Government in Liberia, and they had Zos and they had the Bodios. But our people simply proved paternity by resemblance. He said, "Look at it, man. The child resembles man."
This is my man.
The Upriver Boys proved paternity by blood tests. Y'all remember upriver, right?
Yeah.
JFK, ELWA, and Catholic, and the SDA, Cooper Clinic, and the other BB hospitals were there to perform the blood test for the upriver boys. But my village people went to Guatamo and the zoos or Bodios. Y'all remember Frederick Meister? He was the man who first invented DNA in 1869. But most people did not believe in it until in 1943 when Francis Crick and James Wilson jointly improved the technology. By the 1950s, DNA was globally accepted. But technology continued to find its way in our modern day life. You remember the Morse code invented by Samuel Morse? By that time, we used to use dots and dashes and dits and dahs to send or read messages. Then we had the telegraph that used symbolic codes to communicate. Technology changed waves in every aspect of life. We then got text or short messages service, SMS. Now we got smartphones, we have apps, social media, and you name it. But all that is the pro side of our modern technology. Our con side, or the con side, is that the con men them are using technology to steal from poor people and the rich people as well.
Okay.
They call them the 419 or black money boys. If you're not careful, they will wash your face. Today, because of 419 people, they got a new job called cybersecurity that he was talking about here tonight. For me, I now will see cybersecurity men wearing uniform. I'll come in peace.
Great piece. Great reflection.
Cybersecurity, man. I'm waiting.
Cybersecurity men don't wear uniform.
And great
Thank you,
reflection,
brother,
you know.
for the contribution. We appreciate your time and effort and talent put into this, and we'll continue to bring it to the network and share with our people. But let's go back into what type of country is this? We got 8 minutes to wrap up, and
Yeah.
so I like the one where you cost the policeman and you pay.
Yeah, Tony Boy. But what's about this one? Where a lawmaker went to in fact he didn't go to the event. He was at home watching, the event via
Facebook.
internet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Facebook. And so he saw Copacra. He said, Paco, man, I gotta go, yeah. But when you see, man, the just say, who's that? And great. But what are you talking about again? He said, my man, that traitor. He said, what? Who you call traitor? He said, my man, I may cry. So he meant there. My man, the man went to Omebwaka program. What? He was one of those climbing in the trees? No, he never climbed in the tree, but they play with 2 pies. He said, okay, my man, I may gotta go. At the end of the day, the man fired the man. What type of country is this?
What type of country is this? Shaki McAfee. What type of country is this that the citizens are in prisons every time they go home? Iron bar, the entire house, including the roof.
What?
What
That's
is
That's
this?
scary.
dangerous. That's dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
Well, fire getting the play. You can't even touch the metal door to open the
No, you
door.
can't.
Yeah, because it's so
I
hot.
mean,
Flummer
Yeah.
Livingstone, what type of country is this? A taxi driver abused a police officer, turned around and gave the police officer $50, Liberian dollar, and the police officer tell him, "Thank you, chief."
wow. And that's less than 50 cents or US. I'm telling you.
What type of country is this, Emmanuel Jackson? No conclusion to cases, murder, investment, rape, armed robbery, etc. Musu Kalo, 3 missing boys, Pressure Cooper, 6 auditors, EPS officer. What type of
Type
country
of
is
country is
this?
this? What type of country is this when opposition Kennedy names his running mate? That becomes a complete chaos. All the other opposition candidates, are all complaining. Oh, well, he picked the wrong one. But why can't you just focus on
On your
your
own.
candidate or focus on yourself? Forget about him.
You pick
If
the right
you pick the best.
one. What
What
type of
type of
country
country
is
is
this?
this?
Jesse Farmer, I borrowed that earlier. He says that we don't have database. We're still using clipboard. Walking
That's
around with
true.
clipboard
Yeah.
to collect data.
What type of country is this that will have no central system in terms of data? I mean, can you imagine Volcano? Go to the ELBC of today. All the work you and others did,
Oh,
all that data gone.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why we don't have history. We
yeah.
don't
No
collect. We
central
don't keep
system.
histories. It's no.
No,
I,
everything,
I, you know,
everything we did over there gone.
but one thing I did when I was on the radio, I recorded almost everything I always did on the radio because I wanted
Yeah,
to go back and see where I
yeah,
could affect some things. So
yeah.
just this week, I found one of my tapes
Mm,
when I came here to the States for radio and television broadcasting.
yeah,
Some of the jingles that I did for ELBC before I left the country, I was playing those jingles. And as I said, all of those jingles I wrote in the hotel room when I was in North Dakota.
yeah,
Today they catch the how you would call it the motto of LBS is the nation's pride.
yeah,
I wrote that jingle and I cut the jingle.
yeah,
Jingle was being played for a while and then they just took it and now that's what it is.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they don't know where to credit the history. They
No,
don't
they
No,
don't. They
who
don't even credit you. They don't even make reference to those who
because
did it.
they don't know where it came from. They
they
No,
don't
don't
they
know.
yeah,
don't.
There's
No
that's right.
history.
No
yeah.
You
history.
know. And I think that's one of the mistakes that I made. All the productions, the news, everything. I just never had any other recordings, for reflection's sake, you know.
What type of country is this that doesn't have database but have plenty of data for people to be calling you all the
All times of the day.
money?
Yep. Yep.
What type of country is there? The person will call you to ask for money when you start a conversation. You say, "No, my data running."
Yeah.
Uh,
But
I
you asking me for money. Let's have a conversation. Then you talking about data.
want a control number.
Yeah.
the,
Hey,
the
my man,
man
just do
call
the
you.
thing. Send the control number.
Just send a control number. He ain't call you to talk. You just want. You just want his money.
Yeah, he said, "My man, how you doing? How the family?" I said, "My man, I ain't get data." But he asking me to send you money.
What type of country is this, Virgin Moyu, where you killed a former president for corruption and lawlessness, but
Yeah.
corruption and lawlessness is still at its highest peak?
Whatever country is
What
this?
type of
Yeah.
country is this, Tyrone Marshall, when the police at the checkpoint sees the driver with liquor and request for his?
Yeah, he said, "My man, let me get my beef."
What type of country is this, Emmanuel Jackson, when only government telecommunication facilities haven't been repaired since the war years? It means there's no landline in the country. Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's any landline in Liberia again. We're done with that.
Yeah, what type of country is this that it enforces no DUI laws? What type of country is this?
What type of country is this?
The man is driving. He has his bottle of Guinness red sign him. He doing 90 miles per hour. No one cares. Policeman say, "Oh, gee, you can ride on." The man gets to the checkpoint, the police officer come and look. I said, "Oh, damn, my man, you're jelly, oh."
You're killing it. You're enjoying it, man. Oh, Una.
Yes, on the drive. G. The man is literally driving a friend to the LA Grace, but the police officer is saying, "My man, you can ride on."
The other police officer been there. Ain't care.
So,
He
what
say,
type
"Let
of
me get
country
my
is
car."
this?
Yeah,
And the prime opposition
yeah,
that behind the no the smaller opposition that behind the prime opposition, all of them first,
yeah.
they won't speak to the main opposition because of a
Hey,
what a
big, yeah.
fake or PP.
What type of country is this? Well, all the people that we saw around here that were literally campaigning,
Other than going to
all of them
jail.
have become suicidal.
What type of country is this? Nigeria doesn't have miles per hour. They have kilometer miles per hour.
Kilometers miles.
No big
Yeah,
kilometer per hour.
yeah. What type of country is there? Everybody keeping speech.
There we go. Vice presidential page.
Yeah, no matter how old, man. When he came, I was running all over the place. My sister used to call.
And he let the Wagi business too.
That ungrateful old man. That old man too ungrateful.
Mr. Wagi.
The man promised me, my man.
The man, eh, oh, fool in the hole, there you
Yeah,
go.
they can say, Paku. He said, yeah, my man, I was just traveling all over the place, my man. Oh, you boy, you nothing for you. The man went by the library, he looked at me and said, in fact, you refuse to take my call.
So yes, Maggie, you're right, because we used to be mile per hour and
Yeah,
like
kilometer.
king without that Taylor or Ellington king without
You
kilo.
know what I kilometer thing? Yeah, I know that miles per hour we used to do, but I know,
I'm
yeah,
saying mile per hour. I don't know what to keep from
yeah.
what
But in fact,
I
we even pay attention to kilometer. We do that. In fact, nobody cares. Nobody tracking your speeding. You got somebody doing 100 miles per hour. Can you imagine entering the Kakata highway? You know, in Grand Kakata, in that curve, that Morris, how you call it? Or
No,
Morris Farms curve there, going to PW Highway. Look
oh
at
yeah,
entering that curve, my man. They entering in there with 100 miles per hour. That's what a lot of accident occurs, you know, in that area.
what
You
type of
cannot,
country is this?
yeah.
Emmanuel Nuquist says someone sanctioned by the U.S. government come to his county, build house, and attack his residents. He will not be elected here. Such action.
Not a man with
Am I
Hey,
getting to put him
he's
on?
talking about
yeah,
a
that
man who
man give
stepped down.
that
Who,
is
the man who,
that is man with downsize,
who
oh.
downsized.
The people might give it to the man, say, but man, go. The man look at the whole operation he doing where he said, look, the TM we gotta reduce it to this trade. But my girl, you say, hey, for minister, you want to be representative, you get it in that money.
We gotta take care of the family.
The thing at $15,000
Yeah.
for the salary per month.
Yeah, I just need to hire at least 20 or 30 G. But you know, the whole country, not too much money. They say, but what's about the pastor there? But when they come here, every time they go in, they say, oh, chief. The
Now,
pastor
out the
there
way.
go me, oh. Tell your pastor then the mother can't hear you, oh. Because me, I get money now. My gay.
Jackie McAfee, what type of country is this that people leave their party and support another party for VP
VP
position?
position.
Has anyone checked on Megan Talk or since Friday? You know what happened to Megan Talk?
The ALPO.
The man asking you.
So what? He
The man
said,
said,
I
have you
said,
checked
one check on me while making talk.
since
And
Friday?
Richard, that your picking, man.
The Henry Costa.
Most say that your picking. What
But the man
happened?
said, you got to Henry Costa say he's coming by soon. We should wait. You think that small shark what that man got?
He recovering.
Flo Livingston, what
Yes,
type of
probably,
country
man.
is this? A police officer will stop a car in the middle of a traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was watching this documentary on Haiti, right?
yeah.
Haiti is a failed state as it
Mm.
as it is right now. Gangs all over the place, uh, kidnapping and ransom and all of that.
Yeah.
And the journalist who was being used as a tour guide, he said that the same thing the police can do in Liberia. They tell you a lesson and the man put it back and walk away.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there reflecting.
Yeah, he said, what? That's my country right there. Oh,
They
man.
just come on the black man.
Yeah.
But Lord, I pray you may not learn the thing from.
I'm telling you.
And they pull you over the silver.
You
In
show
fact, you know,
you get a lesson and put it in the pocket and walk away.
yeah, one of my men was telling me Saturday there, you know, we're driving together. You know, they did the same thing there in New York. So the message guy, you were driving New York there, you know, in the early 2000. So they car pulling over. When the man pulling over, then he said, "Oh my man, follow me, let's drive." So play the man. After he had taken the man license on, the guy said, "No, I'm not following you. If you get discuss it, yeah, you take the driver license." And the officer drove her, and he came to the other way. He got a different license.
You're like, bro.
I'm gonna follow you in dark. Then no,
But
I'm not gonna do that thing with you.
somebody said yeah the other night, you know, when you change your license they gave the other one with a hole inside. And the guy came to him, he gave the guy that one with a hole inside. Then put
Yeah.
it back and got the bike and went. So you carrying the man if it was the man real license and you carrying it, what is it gonna do for you?
We're gonna do it. They make him still go by and get another copy.
So Moses,
Yeah.
so the president left the country today for England.
Oh my man, I mean give it. Oh.
That
You
boy
know that
doesn't
boy-
even care. Like he doesn't even care what the Liberia people think
My
and
man,
feel.
that boy,
He
anything that
doesn't
has to
care.
do with
That is
party, my
sad.
man, it doesn't matter.
I mean, with all that thing going on in the country, you still take money to go to
To go to London
king
for
coronation.
coronation, man.
What's the importance of that to you
What
and
does
the
it do for him and what does it do for him?
And guess what, Volcano?
Nothing.
When you
nothing?
look at the official list of guests,
Mm-hmm.
world leaders invited to Great Britain for this event, Labro's name is not mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that man got that invitation. What if somebody slide on the side and give it to him? But Labro is not listed.
I mean,
All,
they
men,
was spend,
all listen. The man just gonna go to England, hang around there.
The man
yeah.
went chill.
Yeah, that's all. He just wanted that break.
Yeah.
He wanted
Yeah.
that break.
They're going chill. Yeah.
Wanted that break. But
Yeah. Yeah.
this is what we asked for, and this is what we're gonna get.
That's
You
what
know,
we got.
It's-
before making the trip, he went to Grand Bazaar, I think last week.
yeah,
For
they
this
say,
quote
they say
unquote,
go in from there.
this quote unquote retreat. So he called him Paku or Tue. Say, hey, my man, I'm on my way to Bazaar. I need you to be here now. He said, but he said, I came here to hustle, to turn around. He said, my man, I need money. I need to go. You need to come. Tue said, my man, it's tough. He said, well, if you can't come, then you have to choose whether you have a job or not. But Tue said, hey, Mr. President, you go ahead and decide what you think is good for you. Can you imagine? You telling your boss, your boss gives you a directive and you tell your boss, say, hey, you decide what you think is good for you, but I'm not going to come and twist to his ground, my man. The man refused to take directive from the president.
I was in a conversation on Sunday, and somebody reliably said he openly threw jab at Ledger Hood. Yeah, at that retreat in Buchanan, he said, "My man, Fagon was doing a better job than you, man.
Hey, man.
I regret that why we let Fagon go. The man doing a better job than you." Belittle the boy in the opening like that.
Yeah.
What he fails to realize is that Ledger, who is a career journalist, who is ethical, and he's been compromising his integrity to even lie for this government.
Of course.
Eugene Fagon is not ethical.
No,
He's
he
not a
has no
journalist.
principle.
He's a
Yeah.
propagandist, and he
Yeah.
will do whatever it is.
Yeah, once
But,
again, if you
You know,
dollars,
at the end of the day, when you work for people who don't regard you and don't even understand your profession, they will talk to you anyhow and they will treat you anyhow.
yeah.
Ledger, who has gone through a lot to still remain in this government.
Of course.
Maybe it's his means of bread.
A lot of stress on our job. But look, let me tell you
If that
something.
is true, if that is true,
Yeah, but look, even the work environment, right? At the Ministry of Information, The only person that has a government assigned vehicle among the ministers who are there
Is Tyrone saying that
is
some
the Minister of Information, Lajihu. He's the only one that has a vehicle. His deputies, if people don't give them ride, they go to work on keke.
but
Can you
listen,
imagine?
Tyrone is asking what do we make of Minister Tua's resignation? Did he resign?
Well, I'm not
So
too sure.
it was
Yeah.
rumored, but I saw a newspaper something today where Twe denied, saying it's not true.
But
I
Tua
think,
was doing a job?
but whatever that is being through, all that is just based on what I told you guys, how he
Yeah.
told the president that, hey, you have to decide, but I'm not coming. I think that's what was being quoted in that story,
So
you know.
all that Paku is strong, Paku was not strong. Paku get
No,
that decision.
if I could get do nothing to the piggy because I hate brain.
Yeah, not when he
Yeah.
bring money back.
Yeah. My man, that's what happened when you are grossly incompetent and the people know you know nothing.
Limited, yeah.
Yeah, you have that limitation. The people you supervise, your supervisees, intend supervise you. They tell you what to do.
Yeah.
That's the problem with George Weah. He's completely clueless in terms of everything he does. So when a
So,
twelve
so let
tells him
this,
that I'm not listening to you,
before we wrap it up, we got only 4 minutes to go now. We're closing at 9:15.
yeah,
So he arrives in London, and how
yeah.
is it going to be expected? I mean, or received rather. So,
I,
so,
I,
so,
I
so,
really don't know.
but do a descriptive
Mhm.
analysis
Oh yeah.
expectation. I know Finda and Colasco they're on that
Oh,
trip.
but they're on a trip.
And
But first people,
the ambassador is there. The ambassador will go on the airport.
the ambassador, everybody on that trip, my man.
So the
So
men arrive here private
yeah,
jet, right?
yeah. When they were planning the trip, Fina went so Ochimani on the say, but Fina, you yourself. Yeah. I will go somewhere. Then you can ask me, Fina, you on our trip? Then Colasco King. He said, oh, so they say, I'm going. He said, Colasco, you on our trip. But you know what? He said, no, you need to save your money. You got less than 5 months to go. If you're not a hell of a project, you stay that lay money you will get from London. Come and put it on your project because the thing I'm hearing from the people is not easy. They said, what's that, Chief? You didn't see the progress on Broad Street, people climbing in the trees. I can't promise you that old man will take the presidency. The people finish telling me already. Many nights I go to bed, I don't sleep. I just rolling over. I'm so stressed out. You saw what happened to me in Buchanan. I was stressed so much that
They
I
say he,
almost passed out.
they say he literally fell. That's the we bar.
Really?
Yeah. But man, the situation, we making fun out of
So that
it,
mean,
but
so that mean,
it's
so that mean,
very
so
serious.
that mean we have to make a lot of trips, but we got a $2,000 per deal. That's small. Now
But
another
you
four,
know, fun?
now another 419 way to collect money.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
But
and,
if I
and
say, what I'm
justify-
hearing the grapevine is that imagine when he come and go to France for another 50 days. You think that small money that boy wants safe? From France, the man went to Guinea for 20 days.
so a $2,000 per day to make collect you.
From there, went to Freetown.
So France are 50
The
days.
man went to Sierra Leone for 10 days. Make sure he get 20 G.
So like 80 days now.
He collect, eating a
The man
lot,
just be
eating
traveling,
just in
yeah.
case.
The man just be traveling here and there. He trying to save some money, my man. You got to get them, my man. They don't ask that man for small money. Oh. I'll be loyal to the president. I'll be using the kind of phone, yeah.
Our man Shaggy McAfee said, don't forget too, the Women's World Cup is this year. So,
The man boy ticket already.
so they collecting $2,000 on Liberian people like they
Yeah, the man planning to go to the Women's
Let
World
me get
Cup.
it.
wow. So 50 days in France, 20
50
days
days,
in Guinea,
you
Sierra
go
Leone, and maybe
Sierra Leone at 10 days.
the
Yeah.
the other day.
Let me go to Nigeria, you gotta go see a man and So the other day they were talking, he said, oh my man, I will just spend 30 days. So the Nigerian president, he said, "But Mr. President, where will you be?" He said, "Oh, don't worry about that. I just won't come and hang around."
Oh,
He said, "But
Johnny.
what will you be doing?" He said, "My man, low right now. I'm trying to stack some money. The government will pay. I will be here for 30 days. 30 times 20, my man, it didn't have fun." The boy say, "EOAD, my man." That sister G right there.
So the man collected incidental all what the play oh,
Yeah, man, but
with
no.
no result, nothing he bring it back on.
Nah.
As-
Sekou saw the people on Bronzy. He said, "Chief." And then again, then the president said, "What happened? You know the men are Muslim now." He said, "Allah." So what happened, my man? Sekou. He said, "Kiditi, I want trouble, you." He said, "Oh man, you tell me what happened." Chief, the crowd I saw to that place. The man said, "No, Fina, go bring my SO."
Hennessy,
You
Hennessy,
know the Hennessy. They brought the largest bottle, my man. The man was just cutting. He was drinking it. He was drinking water. When they let the man pass out, they said, "What?" The next day, man, they asked him, he said, "But Chi, what happened to you?" He said, "Man, I sick. That boy." That
collapse,
boy, he told me what you were telling me about what you saw on Broad Street. The man had a mother tell me the crowd.
collapse.
Yeah, go, let's go. Oh
All right,
my
guys,
God.
listen, we gotta
Yeah,
call it a night.
fun time, my man. Yeah.
Everyone for coming through the Flomo Livingston, good to see
Yeah.
you. Shaggy McAfee, Tyrone Marshall, Emmanuel Jackson,
Yeah. He
Hello,
said that.
Volcano. Thank
That
you,
person got finna, man. Myself, we was spoiling.
thank you for coming. Benjamin Yu, Thomas Awaji, Joshua, Ramsden, Edith McIntosh. Thank you. It's always good
Yeah.
to see you, wonderful people.
Great show, great show, great show. We had a great time together.
Usual and entrepreneurship to the show. We say thank you to everyone, all of the newcomers. Come back. We're here Friday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our broadcast. We'd like to continue to encourage you to share our link. Dr. Telfor Amos, it was good seeing you here in the issues room. Thank you for joining us here tonight. River says Pro, I was looking forward to hearing you, but you didn't call. Anyhow, we'll catch up again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, River says for
Yeah.
you. Up Mountain Zion, watching from Monrovia, Liberia. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Uh, Let me see. Mapu Hall, Gregory Stem, our man Gregory Stem. S. Edward Leefor, thank you. And Thomas Awaji, of course, always a pleasure to have you here with us, my brother. You've been a pillar to the issues room, and we want to encourage you to continue to share the word. Go Gloria Voga Moba, also for joining us here tonight. Thomas W. Wilson would like to say thank God. I thought the
Great
conversation
show.
was great. We'll
It
bring
was.
back. So we got two people to bring back, Mr. McCready, because we didn't even cover a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very great discussion. And then Charles, I was very impressed with Charles. Charles has a good understanding of information technology. I'm a
In fact,
volcano now.
people are asking me about his link. So those folks, I'll check. Tyrone went ahead and Ram Snodden. So Ram, just inbox me your phone number and I will connect you guys. I'll send Charles' number to you so you can catch up with him. Ram Snodden. Tyrone, I will send his number so you can reach him. Oh, in fact, Hickson Tamba was all the
Okay.
way out there in Burkina Faso.
Oh
Thank
wow.
you. It was a pleasure having
Yeah,
you.
Dixie man, it was a pleasure. Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah. Welcome. And and volcano, the question I kept asking myself, the kind of digitized Liberia that Charles, spoke about. Will you and I, the three of us here, will we have the opportunity of seeing a Liberia before we say farewell? I tell you, my man, at this time, of, in this century, we saw a kid. My man, you go to government offices, you have stacks of public records. Will we have the opportunity of seeing that kind of
So
Liberia?
yeah,
I
it's
think
not
because
as Charlie said, it's not difficult. Like it's not something that would take years to do. It's just a matter of putting the resources into it. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
But
let's
are we committed? That's the question.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I know. I want to say thank you. And Volcano, please let me just make this announcement. Let me tell my ANC people to get ready because we have a show that will be dedicated to Alexander Cummings very soon. We look forward to bringing you. We want you to come and be a part of the discussion. Call in. We want to dedicate 1 hour, 30 minutes looking at Alexander Cummings. Is he a saint or not? That would be the discussion.
Mm,
Hmm? We want to look. Let's take a critical look at Mr. Cummings. You know,
okay.
yeah.
There you go. You heard it from Moses. That night he had to be on the show.
it's
uh,
a
uh,
honor coming as in.
yeah, is he a saint?
Oh, quick before we go. Last night I had the opportunity to watch just a snippet of what Randy Dapo was doing. And
Yeah.
we saw he was kind of tongue lashing the seditions for not, you know, talking, for being
For the current administration?
I don't know, being objective with the situation of the guy being fired, Kura,
O-
being
Okay.
fired by President Weah. So
Yeah.
he went on, and then I chimed in and I said, "You took a better, lane tonight."
Position. Yeah.
I make him about man, now you can talk raw. Man say, "You're fucked up. You're fucked
Yeah.
up. You don't have the virgin view." He was saying all kinds of nonsense, and so I
Hey, he did?
yeah, he did. But that's the level of you
Yeah,
know
but sometimes you
Yeah,
don't stoop to that kind of
and I
level
said
anymore. Yeah.
and I honestly
Mm.
felt that Randy Dapo is never going to be on our league when it comes to this.
Uh,
We don't do this because he said we're looking for a job. We
okay.
Joseph Barker man and all kinds of things. Now he
Yeah.
doesn't even know whether
Doesn't
we have
know.
any kind of political affiliation with any political
That's
institution.
okay.
I've
Yeah.
declared that I don't have any connection. Not that I know of you, Moses, and that
No,
I know
I don't.
Alfonso
I have,
Sim.
I have no
Uh,
name. We
he's the
just
one
speak to
that
those
goes
critical
against our
issues
agenda.
there.
He takes a stance. We have
Yeah.
not taken any stance. So that's the contrast here. So who's looking for job? Who's looking for job? But you see, we can't scoop to the level of people like Randy Dapoor.
no,
We gave
no.
him the
No.
opportunity to be in the ranks and files of people like us. It was an
Yeah.
opportunity for him to learn, to understand where we stand. He's the one propagating an agenda. He started with we are dishing. He
He
went to
went to comments.
he was begging for to be embraced, and he didn't get embraced. He turned 360 degrees on that poor man and just started cutting him up.
And start calling him all the terrible names, Yeah.
Today, he's now with back to we are thinking
Yeah.
that he's gonna get the EPA job, but he's
Yeah.
he's, he's fighting a losing battle. So he's
That's
the
no
one
good.
looking for job. But professionally to come out and insult people
Yeah,
who have
that's
embraced you
yeah.
because you're not a journalist. You
No,
just
you're not.
privileged to be on Facebook because Facebook create the mechanism or the conduit through which you can just freely talk and talk
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I
Yeah.
felt somehow, and so I would never, go back to even chime in on his stuff. Um, I don't listen because it doesn't present any relevance, but it's just the fact that sometimes you got to just pay attention to some of these
Yeah,
things.
Yeah.
to your environment. Yeah,
How
yeah.
people are rationalizing the situation in our country. And unfortunately, Randy Dapo, and I hope he's listening tonight, and I will hope that he can chime here. but he's not on our level in any way, shape,
Oh
form, or
man,
size
yeah,
when it comes to this. And no one here is looking for job. We have
we
never
are not.
been on this platform and solicited money, putting cash app number out here. And so
And telling people say you gotta go visit the cash out, man.
we have never done that. We are too
Yeah,
we are
you're
professional guys
professional
who take
people,
Tuesdays and
man.
Fridays to make a meaningful contribution to the discussion of our country. And if you don't call that a part of the process, then you got it wrong. We have invited all of the stakeholders to this platform. They pick and choose. They want to go to a place where they think that they can just say anything and
Yeah,
get away
talk
with it.
Yeah.
loosely.
They
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
know.
go to a place where they can be questioned,
They can be challenged with
challenged.
whatever
You
views.
know, they go to places they where they can't call numbers. Here we want you to call numbers. Here
Yeah.
we want you to tell us what the money you're talking about. Here we want you to tell us the substance of the things you're talking about.
You come here to complain on us.
What type of political campaign is this that some of the people who call themselves presidential aspirants don't even have website?
No, they
What type of
don't.
political campaign is this where they don't even have a platform where there's nothing debatable? What is
Yeah.
this? And
You want
that's what you would say there. This guy, this guy at work, he sneaks in the bathroom to go on Facebook to talk. He's driving in the morning. He's on.
yeah, he's on
You're the
Facebook.
one taking this to be a full-time job.
Yeah.
You're the
Wow.
one, you're the one stressing yourself up. If we don't come here on Friday and Tuesday, the only people that I feel bad for are our
Our
uh,
people,
dedicated viewership who look
yeah.
forward to listening to us and gathering. Now, are we perfect? No.
No, we are.
Are we incorrigible? No. We can be corrected. We can be guided and directed if
We are human beings. You know,
we
we
never
are not
come here to be experts.
professionals.
And we never
Yeah,
come here to be insulting to any of our guests, not any political aspirant. We think that everyone has a stake in the matter, and we have
that's
never
true.
taken sides. But
No,
is it a general purview across all platforms or majority of the platforms, majority of Liberian people that what we have now as a sitting government is not a government?
of course,
There's the majority view.
Yeah.
that's it.
This,
The majority
but
view.
have we said we hate that? We are no. I have said it repeatedly. We
We
are
don't.
blessed. You're blessed to be in a position, but you don't know what to do with the job.
That's the key.
That's the disconnect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Am I afraid to say it? No,
Yes.
he doesn't know what to do with a job. You got a calamity going on right now in your country. Biometric system is flawed. Presidential,
Nothing is working.
vice president being named. People claiming intrigue. You pack your things and go to coronation. You think Prince Charles know what the name of Liberia right now?
No,
He doesn't even.
no,
You're irrelevant.
Yeah.
completely.
Why are you looking for relevance in the limelight at the expense of the people?
Yeah,
$2,000
exactly.
in your pocket on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I should propagate. Is that what
Promote
Randy expect me to propagate?
to promote that, and
So yeah,
and
he had that crap to say, but
but
it's unfortunate.
quickly, Volcano, I really don't want to elevate him
Oh no, absolutely
because
not.
our names are so big. It will taking years. You will never get to that level. We've been there and done that.
Yeah.
So for Moses Sandy to stoop to the level of a Dapo, Randy Dapo, no, not this Moses Sandy, not a Volcano Shelton that I know, not the Alphonso that I know. So Randy, you can do out of throw out of your tantrums out of there. We're not going to elevate you.
Being disrespectful,
You
you're
know,
fucked up.
yeah,
You're fucked up.
we're not going to elevate him.
There's a
Yeah.
man who's going to be a family man using profanity.
He
No
came on this show here. We had to literally
matter, just as
regulate him because
Using
everything it was about
that
comments. It
type
was
of
about
language.
comments, and
Yeah.
I had to literally control him like my 12-year-old. You can't do that. It is not about comments.
then he says that
Yeah.
we don't want anyone to disagree with us, but it's not being disagreeable. You come on a platform where you're invited to discuss the issue.
Yeah.
You take on the political institution. You represent the political institution, instead of coming with your viewpoint. How can you defend Cummings when you're not a part of the ANC?
Mm-hmm.
How can you defend We Are when you're not a member of the CDC?
CDC, yeah.
We know who to defend We Are. We want a Constance Dwop,
Yeah, duopo.
who to come in here. We want diehard seditionists who are identified as seditionists to come in here.
CDC.
We want ANC people who are ANC people to come here. You're the one looking for relevance. You're the one running all around here fighting for views.
Due recognition,
Yeah.
and
So it's
nobody,
and
Elaine,
someday, one of the things I said to you, Moses, there'll
yeah,
come a time that Facebook will charge all of us for this,
yeah, for what we do, yeah.
and you will see who got money in the pocket to pay for it.
And who sure and
Yeah,
who sure man
yeah, you
So
know,
so I think we
yeah,
should give Alfonso a chance to say something. Alfonso, you want to say something?
no, no,
Yeah.
no. And I said we'll see who sure man no, 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 definitely. I agree with
Yeah,
what you're saying, but
yeah.
as
Every
you
time
all
you go to
know,
do live feed, they charge you.
yeah,
Charge you per minute. I'll see where they will go with it.
these things will happen, these things
It's
will
gonna happen.
happen.
It's
So
gonna happen. A lot of these things need to be weeded out.
Oh
People
yeah,
just come to social media and just do all kinds of stuff.
we use profanity at
Yeah,
people for
not
no
only
reason.
profanity, they
And,
take it back, they put it on Facebook. They're
oh
cooking,
yeah,
put it on Facebook. They're cooking snail tabagi, they put it on Facebook. Everything they do is
it's
on.
Facebook.
So they
They
need to
come,
for it.
they come, and Volcano, just to piggyback on what you said, and this is where sometimes I better get angry. Somebody will take to social media and literally denigrate another family or another person on social media, talking about the person family lifestyle. Oh, the person got evicted. The person has not been fed for months. The person is out of job. What's the relevance of all this private information you're throwing out there to the public? What do we have to do with that? Sometimes when I see people listening to all these gossips around here, I say, is this a talk show? You're just putting people at loggerhead? Liberians take pride in that, especially maybe they're going to get angry with me, but a good number of our
you don't
sisters,
have to go there.
a
Just leave
good
it.
number of our sisters, that's what they do on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, she loving to that man. Oh, that her other boyfriend on his side. Who cares?
Mhm, mhm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
intelligent conversation. That's the kind of talk show we want. We don't want you telling somebody that, he got terminated from a job 3 months ago. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. And I wait for the day when this will happen, when we'll pay for everything on Facebook. And then that's when the society will get weeded out.
Yeah.
Get weeded out, especially when you want to go live. That free live, it will not be
Yeah.
free.
It's when you got paid money.
You gotta pay.
In fact, you know how they would do that, like bro, data. They said the data running over, man. But that 20 minutes you get to make sure you make sense. Other than that, you have to go in your
you go to
pocket.
the party, you're trying to be discreet, you sitting there
Yeah.
live. We go in live.
We also then they say, "Wow, we outside."
Yeah, outside.
One
We're
I
going
we
live.
got to one I said, put that camera around me here. I was just you want how you said don't come outside. I said
We-
just sit around with all that sound. Don't come here.
you know,
You go somewhere, that public space. That public
Yeah.
I see somebody house there, not public space. That in somebody house there, in somebody living room. We having a quiet time.
yeah, we're outside.
Because somebody else public space. Eh? I told you I was downtown Philadelphia. You see me at convention center.
On Broad
You
Street,
come
on
to
Market
somebody's
Street.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come to somebody's house.
Yeah,
You
you
just
said
go
that public
live.
space.
You said public space. I said, put that camera on me. Put it on me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sister Mata. She got 3 boyfriends. Who cares?
I mean, it just
Does the matter get three?
You 3 boyfriends. She loved to my husband. Who cares?
Go
I'm
have
not
that
interested in
conversation.
that. Bring intelligent conversation, man.
We're just losing it, my man. And you're right. A lot of Liberians,
Yeah.
it's so pathetic. Sometimes you don't even want to identify with how they behave and the things they do. You
Yeah.
be sitting there wondering, would you use this space, this kind of technology for the
Yeah.
positive?
Yeah.
Like you and I are doing now for the positive.
That's the
No,
way it should be. Yeah.
they use it to exploit, they use
Mhm.
it to abuse, they use it to. I mean, it's just so.
Everything.
It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic.
They're doing gossip at the same time. And look, our people are so gullible. That's what I don't understand about them. These people are literally breaking homes, gossiping about other people, and then they telling the people, visit the cash app. Oh yeah. And the other person just visited the cash app. I would take my hard-earned money
no,
as a
no,
janitor.
no, go pay for
And you gossiping about somebody.
go pay
Say
for
I'm a
gossip.
visit cash app.
No, go pay for gossip.
Juice, pay for it, juice.
How much are you seeing?
Yeah.
They come to videotape. They don't ask your permission. They all live. Then somebody calling you, my man, where you at? Then you want live do this. I know where you at. You sitting out, but
I just saw you somewhere.
yeah, come
But
on.
the city had me recently to a friend of mine, a friend of his lied. They were to go somewhere and the friend called and canceled. And then the three of us were together. A lady called and mentioned the guy name. Oh, yeah, he is sitting here. We're here together. I said, what?
My man,
So you just expose the guy like that?
you know what I will start doing when I go
No.
out. I will just dress the Margot Jackson and children. How you to put the blanket over the face. I lie to you, or I dress like a Muslim women. I would have put it on it all the way here and cover everything. Just put it here.
Yeah, we're going live.
Nobody has privacy again. You
No
know,
problem. So everything is open at the public,
if I
Yeah.
leave work, I come home, I just stay in my house, my brother. I ain't got to be outside. If I gotta
We
be
also are right, Alfonso.
Oh, we outside right
We
now.
also have a man.
outside,
We
man.
Yeah,
outside right now.
but
Yeah.
we also please educate us.
Yeah.
Bring topics of interest. Don't tell me, say, my friend has 4 or 5 girlfriends. I'm not interested in that. Bring intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's call it a
Yeah.
night. Thank you,
Thank
Alfonso.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch up. Listen. Oh, by the way,
Oh,
stay for 5 minutes. Okay, stay for 5 minutes.
All right.
All right, folks. Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate the time together. We'll be back here by the grace of God Friday. Again, Moses Sandy, Alfonso Volcano Shelton, the Issues Room 150th edition. Have a good night.